Bush, beat to quarters and clear for action. Fires your guns bear. Thank you for the way you've all carried out your duties.
Well, hello, everybody. G23 has got some stuff going on, so he couldn't do his normal chat. So I told him I'd fill in for him, and we'll hold down the fort for a weekend. And Baron is trying. He's got some technical difficulties. Hopefully, he'll be able to get them worked out, and he'll jump in with us. But for now, we've got Chris from the 740. How's it going, Chris?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming. And New York Outcast, how you doing?
Hey, doing well. Thanks for having me. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
And out in the side chat, Defense Dad was out there. I don't know if he's usually working. He's always working, making that money. And Rob is out there and in here. Kingpin swung by. Jet 001. G23 was out there. I sent him a link, so if he gets some free time, he can jump in if he wants to. Caucasian Sasquatch, how's it going, brother? And Baron is in the nether regions right now. Southpaw RX, how's it going? Haven't seen you in a while. But don't really have any topics lined up. Figured we'd just come in, have some fun for a little while, and then move on. But first, on my last chat, I think it was my last chat, we did gun porn. And G23 had sent me some stuff after the chat. So I told him I'd show it. Figured I might as well show it on his show, during his time. Let me figure out what I'm doing. Share screen. And right there. That's not the one I want. Hang on here. Let me do it this way. Not that way. So let's try that way. There we go. So this is a black powder rifle, 50 cal black powder rifle. What was it? Was it Connecticut Valley? I think. Yeah, I'm not doing this in a very good way. It's not the way I meant to do this, but I'm not very good at my job. There's G23. Hang on here a second. There you are.
Oh, man, there goes the show.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of badly showing your corn. Because I kind of lost what I'm doing here. How long have you had this black powder rifle? Is it D23?
I've had it for about 2 years.
Have you shot it?
I have not. So that is actually a really old black powder rifle, 50 cal. and the cereal is sub 300. And it's an American-made barrel. So, it's a CVA, a Connecticut Valley Arms, and you can still get some of the CVAs, but most of those are now, I think, Spanish from Spain barrels. And so, and even that, you're not going to get ones that are that low of a serial number. The SIG P320 RXP X Compact that I bought for the wife for the 20th anniversary with a brown leather and black Every Second Matters patch.
That's the one you brought up here, isn't it?
Yes, that's the SIG that I brought up there.
Yeah, that's a nice gun. It was really accurate.
And that crisp flat face trigger with a 90-degree break is really, really nice.
And then, of course,
Rob's favorite. He's ignoring me.
God. Seen one, seen them all.
Yeah, but I mean, look at all those accents on there.
It's
Aftermarket,
got some silver.
aftermarket mag release, extended mag release, aftermarket extended slide stop slide release, and then steel pins instead of the polymer pins that or aluminum pins that come in the standard.
Bet that looks just like your nice on. It's a bunch of extra chrome add onto it.
Nope.
nah, his Nissan's pretty reserved. I'll say that. And
I can tell you that tint job, and Foss can probably tell you that tint job is real dark, straight from factory.
it is. We met up at the Cabela's, and then came back to my place, and came in, grabbed some stuff because we were going to the range. Threw it in the back of his car, and then I went to open the driver's door, and his wife was sitting there. I never saw her. Whoops. How's it going? What's your kitty cat's name?
That is Icy. ICP. I was a big fan of Insane Clown Posse.
Really?
and
You were a juggalo?
and
It's all coming together.
And the cat is pretty crazy. So the wife and I agreed that we should call her Icy. And that is her shotgun, as she has claimed. You can see that she likes to sleep on it. And yes.
The funny thing is, I can actually see you as a juggalo.
So I wasn't like all the others. I actually, a lot of people that get into, I'm going to call myself a juggalo or whatever, never understood the 7 Jokers cards, which were the first 7 albums that were produced by ICP, which was also the very first of the Joker's cards was actually produced by Disney. A whole lot of people don't realize that Disney was the first group that the first to sign ICP and everything.
I will admit, I liked their cover of "Let's Go All the Way" by Sly Fox. I thought they did a good job with that.
I have to go listen to that. I didn't know they covered that song.
Let's see. We had where'd it go? Mario Mosen, and Tactical Fud. Bucks out there.
So, where a lot of people didn't until the 7th Joker card that came out, where they finally admit that they're a religious band. And right in there, they say that a lot of people never understood that they follow God and always have. And when they played that in a live concert, 3/4 of the people got up and walked out and like set fire to their gear that they had and said that ICP turned their backs on what they were actually always talking about. But yeah.
So we're open for topics. Anybody out there's got stuff they want to talk about? Anybody in here? Go ahead and throw it out, and we'll discuss it.
So that last picture that you had, which had the kitty and the KSG shotgun in there, if you look right by where her head is,
did you want me to call it up?
yeah, I can kind of point out a few things on that thing.
Just a second. I'm responding to somebody on something here. Oh, I forgot what I was doing then. Yeah, I was just about to delete all those pictures, so I'm glad I didn't do that.
That's all right. They're right there. I can easily resend them if you had.
Oh, I got it right here. Yeah, I was doing prep for my chat tonight and kind of forgot about doing this chat. There we go.
So right there in the back is, if you go right by her head, that is where you load your 2 tubes in the bullpup, and that's also where the shells will eject down because of it being an actual bullpup. So a lot of people have problems being able to actually load that. And so it takes practice of being able to, load that. Yeah, probably your easiest way to do it is having it turned upside down. But you can, if you get good, you can start being able to load it while you still have it shouldered. And with the overall 26.25 inches, it is a very nice, tight actual shotgun. And I keep saying we're going to test the red dot that Chris sent, and it's got a True Glow red dot optic already on it. And so if that can withstand some of the rounds that I've put through that, I truly don't see that the SIG MSR shouldn't be able to. But, with the MSR having problems on that 300 blackout, we may find out that it can't withstand a shotgun blast.
Well, you just got to get it on there and see what happens. And it seems like the long guns are what Kel-Tec does best compared to their handguns. I have a Kel-Tec P17, and I've only shot it a few times, probably less than 500 rounds, and only had, I think, one, maybe two failure to feeds, but that could be the 22 ammunition itself.
I can say their sub 2000 is super reliable.
Yeah, I've never shot one, but that's what everybody says.
I love mine.
Now, have you done the what's that company that does all the aftermarket?
It's got
parts?
The whole entire M Carbo upgrade kit on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say because a lot of people will say how reliable it is, but then they're like, "Yeah, but I've changed out every single part."
Yeah. Yeah, and everyone asked me that. Like, I think I took it to the range one time and shot it with all the factory parts in it, and took it straight home and got everything ordered and tore it down and put it all in. So, but believe it or not, I shot that gun in the USPSA my first year and a half that I shot the USPSA. So I'm going to guess I probably have 10,000 rounds through it now. And I did wear a firing pin completely out of it. I did have to get a new one from Kel-Tec. But their customer service was great. Called them, told them what I was doing with it, and they threw one in the mail and sent it right out to me.
Should have went for a sponsorship.
Yeah.
The one thing I really, really do like about Kel-Tec's warranty, which I don't know how. So, like, if you say you have a Gen 1 of any of their product, and Gen 3, 4, 5 come out and they've done different things to them, you can send your Gen 1 back in and they will do all the upgrades for free.
Yep.
To get it to like that Gen 5. So anything that they have changed in any of their firearms because, hey, something functions better or whatever, they'll upgrade it for free, even if you aren't the original purchaser. So if you bought it used from your buddy, you can still get that same warranty.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that they haven't come out with a third gen of the sub 2000 yet. It's one of their hottest selling guns. They sell the crap out of that thing. And if they made an ambi version of it, that's the downside to it is, but if they came out with an ambi mag release and an ambi safety on that and brought it back out as a Gen 3, I think they'd sell the crap out of it.
Somehow, I just cut my finger, and I don't have a clue how I cut my finger.
Huh.
Is there a piece of paper somewhere close by?
Well, there is, but it's not. I mean, it's underneath stuff. I don't know what that was.
It's not a ghost knife, is it?
Oh, I do have this one sitting here that Guns and Barbecue sent me.
That was put away. Just make sure you don't have any ghost knives floating around on the desk, because
it's a nice Damascus blade.
It is. I love Damascus, and it's buffalo horn.
And is it a true Damascus or is it faux Damascus style?
It is. It is Damascus. You can. It may not focus on the. You can see it's all the way through.
Okay.
It's either I'm guessing Pakistani or what's the other?
Chinese.
Turkish. To me it looks like the kind of like the Paki. Like I've had one before and it looks real similar. But one of the cool things is that in the frame.
I like that.
Okay, that is pretty cool.
It's all the way around.
So your typical co-host says when you dropped your bottle, maybe?
No, because it happened like just now. I was doing something, looked down, and I don't know.
We'll just blame Rob for it.
Yeah, wasn't me. But you are covering for a Glock guy, so don't be shocked if karma gets you.
Well, 3 out of the 4 people on the screen own a Glock or Glock style.
I understand. 3 out of 4 fall victim to peer pressure, and it's a sad thing. It's a big problem.
Warsaw Patriots out there.
I shipped my M&P slide off this morning.
Yeah?
Yeah, I sent it to... I could only get one company to do what I wanted done on it. Everybody wanted to do an RMR cut, and I wanted the vortex cut. I got a certain optic I want to put on it. So, the company I sent it to... It's called DP Custom Works out of North Carolina. So, and the funny part about it is when I took it into the post office this morning to ship it off, the guy that was ringing me out, he goes, "Are you getting slide work done?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, you're sending it to a good company." He's like, "I had one done from them." So I was like, "Well, it's meant to be then." Because who would think that you'd go to the post office and the postal service guy knew what you were doing?
So,
cool.
I had roll call 219 sent the Christmas ornament, and it was in a Tula ammo box. And the guy at the post office was like, "I didn't realize you could send ammo through the post office." I'm like, "It's probably not ammo." But like 4 people that were in line were just like, "Dude, you got ammo sent to you?" I was like, I was just laughing.
Yeah, I just thought it was weird, out of all the places you can send slides off to have millwork done on them, and that guy knew exactly what that was and where it was going.
Yeah, I'd love to get one of the fancy slides with holes in them for my G20, but I just don't want to pay that much.
Yep, and then depending upon which company you get, it may or may not function properly.
Well, yeah, just now I looked up slides while we were talking. The first one was the rock slide.
Now, if you ordered the stripped slide from them and, you were going to go through and build it out yourself, you may not have the same problems, but I ordered it with, the guts already in there. So the striker was in there and everything. And they put on a blank slide plate on the back of it. So that was probably like 90% of the problem until I figured that out and got it replaced with an actual properly done slide plate. So once that happened, it started to work a lot better. And then I put in a 20-pound guide rod spring in there to handle, because it does weigh more. And when I put the optic on there, of course, you got a little more weight. So you're going to want a little heavier spring, but with that, it also stiffens up your racking of it. So,
Yeah,
That's
Razor
good.
JB says he's had several done by Doug at DP Customs. A stellar guy, better work. He guarantees, I guarantee you the work will be nothing short of amazing. One of the top 5 places in the U.S.
Thanks for letting me know that, Razor. I appreciate that. Yeah, I checked out. I was on his Instagram and Facebook, and it looks like he does amazing work. I couldn't believe how cheap he was too. I mean, compared to what a lot of the other guys charge. And then if you signed up for his email list, you got a 10% off code. So I think he's doing the slide milling and the black Cerakote for, I think it was only like $140. So I'm pretty happy about that. So we'll see what his turnaround time is. The last one I had done, I waited about 4 or 5 weeks for it.
I would love to get the 460 roll-in conversion kit for my G20, but it costs as much as a G20, so I'm not going to do that. We had Razor JB jumped in. Gunpowder Beauty. She was asking what kinds of shenanigans is going on here. And did I say Warsaw Patriot? Gunmetal Guy USA. Good afternoon. I think that was everybody so far. If I missed you, say hello again, and I'll say hello back.
So, any of you guys on the panel have any guys got any experience with FN handguns?
I've shot one.
I had a guy drop off a 509 Tactical Thursday night, and I took it out to the range. I did a bench review on it. Took it out to the range yesterday morning. Shot it for, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours. And I'll tell you what, I absolutely love this gun. Like, to the point where I think I want one.
I didn't like the trigger.
No, triggers are heavy.
Well, I think it was that where the wall is like farther back. I think it was the FN that was like that than what I was used to, so it felt funny.
So this one, the trigger it's heavy. It when I put the gauge on it, it pulled 7.5 pounds. Now the creep going back to the wall is fine. That it does have a lot. I didn't really like the reset when I had it out on the bench. I thought the reset was pretty long on it. But then once I got it out to the range and started shooting it, I didn't even really notice that anymore. But it is just a nice pistol. I ran 4 different kinds of ammo through it. Reloads, hollow points, Winchester white box, CCI blazer. I never had one malfunction. What I really like about it is it has an ambi mag release. Like, you don't have to switch it from left to right.
Yeah,
it's already set up that way. So I don't know. I'm a left-hander, so when I see stuff like that, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't think it was it was bad or anything. It just, the way it felt was different for me, so it felt odd.
Yeah,
and it's it's like a personal. It's not workmanship or anything like that.
Gonna say I shot a FN pistol. I don't remember what it was, but friend owned it. It's pretty funny. Shooting at targets at decent distance away. He came up with it, pulled it out, started shooting, couldn't hit anything. Asked me to try it, and it was like I couldn't miss with the gun. So I wish I did know the model, because it would be one I would purchase myself, just because it was one of those guns where it's almost like you didn't have to try, at least for me.
Yeah.
So actually, that reminds me. I'm going to make a note to ask him.
Yeah, the only FN I ever shot was like years ago, and a buddy of mine had bought an FNX 45 when it first came out, and it's been so many years ago I shot it, I couldn't really even remember. But yeah, I don't know. I like it though.
So I shot the 509 tactical, and I really wasn't a whole impressed. I've shot better guns and I've shot worse guns.
Mm-hmm.
So it came down to that, for its price point, there's better firearms out there, in my opinion, that have better triggers, that have better resets, and that I'm not going to have to go and sink more money into just to fix stuff that I don't like about it.
Well, you don't have to dump money into a gun. I mean, you don't have to be in love with it all the time. It's just got to do its job.
If you don't love it, you're not going to carry it. If you're not going to carry it, it's not going to do its job.
That's not true.
Defense Dad saying he didn't like the grip texture. A little more aggressive than he cares for personally. I was kind of like that with grip textures, where I didn't like the real, like skateboard tape stuff. Until I had the compact witness, the 10 millimeter compact witness. Having I think they were called lava grips. I don't think they're even a company anymore, but it made a huge difference having that extra texture. So I probably would still be more aggressive than I would choose, but for that, it really, really made a difference. And if I didn't say hello, Shafty, I'm sorry. I was about to, and I don't know if I actually did. How you doing?
What's up, buddy? I would have been here earlier if I knew you were doing a show.
Well, I kind of forgot I was doing a show too, so
yeah,
it's all right. What have you been up to?
Well, I got the in-laws over from New York, and they're staying with us this week. So I've been hiding, basically.
Well, thanks for jumping in.
From New York, They can't be good.
There's some dissenting viewpoints there, so I've been keeping my mouth shut, keeping the old lady happy.
Oh, imagine living around those people.
Yeah, I feel for you, dude. But hey, Defense Dad, if you don't like aggressive textures, I wouldn't try the P10 then, because that thing peens itself into your hand.
Yeah, it has got some. I will say that.
I love my
P10.
Yeah, but it's aggressive.
Mm-hmm. I like aggressive grips like that though. But if you don't like them, that's definitely not the gun for you.
No.
I don't know. I went shooting with this guy in Washington, and he told me I had to try his carry firearm, and that damn thing felt real nice to grip, and it was an HK. And now I told the wife that I think she'd like the HK over the SIG.
Yeah, you can get the compact. There's it's a P30, and there's the P30 SK, the subcompact, and that felt nice too.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but does the P30 and the VP9 share the same frame?
Yeah, I don't know. They
look very similar.
They do. I'm not sure if they're the same frame or not. I don't think I've ever held a VP9. I think it's the VP9 is the H&K's most sold firearm.
Those are good pistols for the money, like the CZs are.
The one thing I do like about the HK over the G23 is that the grip is actually a little thinner, which you would think it's a 40, but yeah, it's a little thinner, and I think it just like fits in your hand a little better.
Defense Dad, I believe he's saying they do share the same frame. Yeah, the VP9, the only problem I have, why I haven't really cared about it, is because it's striker fired. I need a hammer. That's just me. 2A We Stand is out there.
Hey, man, good to see you.
And Rob, I'll get to that in just a minute.
So what was the occasion for the chat tonight? If you don't mind me asking.
Filling in for G23, who's here.
Yeah.
he had got some stuff going on, so
I wondered about that, yeah.
Parole check-in. Don't let them fool you.
Absolutely.
Defense Dad says he has the VP9 standard and the VP9L. It's optics ready.
Could have been Glock Club night too. You never know.
I'm trying, Rob. I'm talking about FNs and trying to keep
I
it
appreciate
from
it,
going.
man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, but he keeps going.
Steer that conversation away. Well, negative is fine. It's all the positive that just brings me down.
Rob just keeps bringing it right back to Glock. He's like, "Hey, we got to keep talking about Glock. That's all I want to talk about."
We can talk about Glock holsters.
Oh man.
Well, here, let me do this. I'll make you happy here, Rob. Give me just a second there. Let me find it.
Oh baby. That's what I'm talking about.
So go to R&L displays and get an R&L display. I'll only play that when you're on the chat. So if you want me to play that, you got to be on the chat.
Nice. It's nice. I like it. Got to play it.
Get yourself a promo code.
I was repping you this morning, Rob, on the Travis's channel.
And I think
there you go.
There's a few different discount codes out there, like Travis P11, Gizzard Gary, Rick's Life as I See It. But the most important one is G23.
Yep.
Rich White's out there. Afternoon, Rich.
Good to see you, Rich.
Defense Dad says I carry the VP9, Walter PPQ SC, SIG P938, which I personally really don't like the 938. Mostly in his rotation, slips in a few others here and there, but those are his go-tos.
I love my Walther PPQ.
So, 2A We Stand says I need one for my Glock. Yeah, rnldisplays.com. Use code G23. Save yourself 15%.
My handgun one's over there.
May I answer Baron's question real quick?
Sure. I think I missed it. This one?
Totally oblivious. Almost negligently oblivious.
So, I don't know if Foss wants to go political or anything, but
Well, go ahead.
Is anyone's opinion that they're using Ukraine right now as a smokescreen to push through the nominees and anti-2A laws so that people aren't really paying attention to what's going on and more focused on what's going on over in Ukraine?
I'm going to lean towards no. It's, like the nominee, was going to happen no matter what. And there's, it's going to, it's, public opinion isn't going to matter on that one, really. And then, maybe some of the other stuff, it was just an opportunity. This popped up, and so they might do stuff while nobody's looking. But, I would have more expected China to take advantage of this to go after Taiwan. But I looked up, there's also, I think, 3 carrier groups over around Taiwan. So that might be stopping them from doing that.
Yeah, I would say if anything, maybe it's a happy accident. And actually, I think China's probably been grading Russia on this whole exercise, because if I don't know if anybody saw, they actually cut Russia's credit with China this week too.
Yeah, China and Russia they're not friends, but they have mutual enemies. So China will use Russia as any way they can. Then, this is my novice, uneducated opinion, but they won't help them unless it helps themselves.
Yeah, it's a bad look for a new trading partner. Ooh.
And Minna Tupperware has joined us. Misfits Darling. She's probably in the background listening there, yelling at Rob.
Nope, no yelling.
I do really want the 365 XL. I like that pistol a lot.
I really like that too. It fit well and was really accurate. But it's striker fired, so I just, I have to have a hammer. My Glock is the one exception.
Got that ticket punched.
If I was going to get the 365, I would more likely than not get the 365X over the XL or the standard X, just the standard 365.
That 365 XL, it shoots like a full-size pistol. That's what I like about it. Thing is a tack driver.
Yeah, I want to pick one up at some point.
I don't know. That the X series, I think, is probably one of their nicer series.
Now when I first got it, the only thing that I hated about it was that Romeo Zero. That was the worst red dot ever made. That thing, I got rid of it almost immediately.
Yeah, the only thing I'm really hung up on are the $50 magazines.
Yeah, that's the bad part. So I think I have 6 for mine now, and man, I got
that's half the price of the gun. Yeah.
So
go ahead.
I picked up the 320 mags off Gun Mag Warehouse,
Mm-hmm.
and you can get them especially when they're running a sale or whatever. And you can pick them up for about $35 a piece.
Yeah, I've never seen the XL mags that low. I think I paid $50 a pop for. I think it came with 2, and I bought 4 more, and then I bought the 15 rounders. So they were
Don't
even more
forget,
expensive.
G23 gets everything cheap except for flowers.
Yeah. The shop I worked at, all the SIG stuff was MAP pricing, so we couldn't do anything about it.
Tim Mass is out there.
I need to put mine up on the channel sometime, do a video with it. I've never had it out on the channel yet. I had a lot of work done on it. It's got the Armory Craft frame, and I've got the Armory Craft pinky extensions for the 2 mags I carry with me.
Yeah, that gun.
Go ahead. I was saying, Misfit Darling says she misses the normal chat. G23, picking on Rob, having a good time.
You can still pick on Rob.
No, it's not necessary.
Wow, Defense Dad got HK and Walter mags for $24 a piece.
Wow,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, those are Metgar mags too. Well, I mean, the ones for the Walther are. Those are good mags.
And 2A We Stand is asking, which Canic would you guys recommend?
The Rival all the way.
I don't have any experience with the Canics.
I have. Oh, go ahead.
I had the TP9 Elite for all of about a week, and then I gave it to my little brother, so I didn't even really get to shoot it much.
I have the SFX, and I love it. It's a great gun. Shot a few competitions with it. But that Rival is just... Because the TP9 SFX was almost perfect, other than... I don't know why they didn't put an ambi slide release on it. I mean, Walther's been putting them on the PPQ forever, but yeah, the Rival is everything that the TP9 SFX should have been.
Well, and the Canic gives you a lot of extra stuff with your gun.
Oh yeah, you get a holster, and but I don't know if they're doing 2 mags or 3 mags with this one.
The one I got was 3.
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking a competition pistol right out of the box. I mean, you got your holster, you got your magazines. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to buy mag pouches to carry on your belt, but if you haven't ever shot a Canic trigger, the Canic has the best factory trigger there is. I mean, you can't beat them.
That P10 gets pretty close. It's 4 pounds out of the box.
Well, yeah, we're talking CZ though.
Yeah, that's true. But they're similar price point. The P10s are going for about $490.
Oh no, you won't ever hear me bash on CZ. I love CZ.
Yeah,
they're amazing guns.
CZs are nice firearms. It's just their fanboys are hipsters.
That's true. I'll give you that.
Coming from a Glock guy,
I'll say I carry a CZ compact, CZ75 compact. I really like it. It's comfortable, really nice carry gun. Really comfortable to carry.
Yeah, I'm gonna eventually buy a Shadow 2. That's on my short list of
those are
guns
nice.
I'm gonna get. Every time I get a chance to shoot one, I shoot it.
You gotta wait till Travis gets sick of his.
Yeah.
I really want the TSO.
Oh yeah, Taxport Orange.
Yeah, in 40.
Yeah. Yeah, I've shot that one too. I got a buddy of mine that shoots that in what do they call limited division? I guess it would be.
But that $2,000 price tag, you know.
Defense Dad is saying he could have bought a TP9 for $275. I think it's probably back when they first came out.
I had their very first gun that when they came out with the TP9 series. I think it was called the DA. It was in that like peanut butter color or whatever. And I mean, even back then, that trigger was amazing.
The only Canic that I've really been interested in, I think it's that K10, the K12 Sport in 45. I think that's probably about the only one. And Miss Vanessa Kitty is out there, so hello.
Yeah, that's one I've never shot, Defense Dad. Now, here's what's crazy, because I've done a bunch of videos. You can take the slide off the TP9 SFX and run it on the Walther PPQ frame, and vice versa. You can take the Walther slide off of the PPQ and run it on the TP9 SFX frame. Okay. And it'll run 100% reliably.
I got it wrong. I guess according to Snob, that's a SAR that I'm thinking of. So,
yeah. Gun Snob, guy that comments, Keith Gregory have all jumped out there. Hello. Defense Dad said he wanted the OD TP9 Elite. That was a pretty gun. Uh-oh. Somebody's throwing down.
Have at it. Carry it all day long.
Guy in the comments said the Canic is trash. I'd rather carry a high point before a Canic.
I'd say a lot of USPSA champions would probably argue that with you. That gun's won a lot of championships.
So it looks like Rob's about to get smacked. So, because he definitely has been talking mad smack about her.
There's a good question for you. 2A's got Foss, since you like your hammer fired stuff.
I haven't seen one in person. So
have they even released that to the open market yet?
Yeah, they're available. My FFL had them last week. It's a high capacity SIG 938.
So my only question is, if you've been watching any of the YouTubers doing the reviews on them, they're all having problems with the trigger reset on that. I know, and I was watching Honest Outlaw shooting it. It was driving him nuts. And then I'm trying to think. I bet I watched 3 videos where the guys were having the exact same trigger issue with that gun.
So I just got one question on what high capacity is that? More than 10 rounds, or
so 938's like 6 rounds if I remember correctly. The CSX is like 11 or 12 depending on the magazine, or maybe 11 or 13.
Caucasian Sasquatch brings up the Wolverine 22. I love the look of this gun.
Got a picture of it?
I've never heard of it.
It's not responding. So
Baron says 12 plus 1. So yeah, that falls in the standard capacity of most of your micro carries anymore.
I might drop here in a second because everything's starting to freeze up on my computer. So if I disappear, I'll be right back.
Let us know if you see boats.
Hide the dog.
Double stack Kimber Micro 9. That's a great way to put it. They are a little bit smaller than the Shield Plus, though, when you actually hang on to them. So if that's important to anybody, I did notice that when I checked it out.
Yeah, the one thing is like the wife doesn't really like small grip frames. You know, like she'd rather have one that truly fills up her hand, so that we're, you know, going 2 of the micros and stuff for her. She's like, yeah, no, I don't want any of that kind of crap.
Yeah, about the smallest gun I'll carry is my Shield with the extended magazine. I don't go too much smaller than that.
Is that Wolverine you're talking about, made by a company called Whitney?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just pulled it up. That is neat looking.
Why don't you share your screen, Chris? And
I
Fossil
can't. I can't do anything.
Okay, never mind then.
I got it pulled up on my other computer beside me, but this thing is wild looking.
I'm kind of afraid, you know, right now my Google Chrome is not responding, and if I close it, it's probably going to shut the stream down. I'm guessing.
No, the stream will keep going unless you hit the stop screen stream.
Are we sure?
Yeah, I've exited out and re-entered on. I exited from my cell phone and went into the computer. It'll keep going.
All right.
Without the host.
I'm going to close this down, and then I'll jump right back in. If something goes wrong and it shuts the stream down, I'll fire one back up, I guess.
Or I can fire one up on my channel. One of the two.
I'll be right back. If it'll let me close it.
Well, you're frozen now, so it did something.
Control-Alt-Delete.
Now, when he drops out, I want everybody to panic.
Right? Yeah, he's just locked up. So
I feel his pain. When I'm on his regular show, I have internet problems all the time. I think it's just the time of the day, maybe.
Hey, I'm back, and I'm here twice. Let me remove. There we go. All right, now I'm going to get stuff back open that I had open, and yeah.
Yo, Baron says, I'm already panicking.
Are you still locked out of your stuff?
No, I'm back in. I'm just getting some windows open that I had open.
Oh, sorry, I meant Baron.
Oh, sorry.
We just talked to him like 45 minutes ago.
Been any news on tracking that El Wapo guy down?
Who? So this is the Whitney.
Oh man,
it is sexy. Oh, I love the look of this gun, and I would never be able to afford one.
I don't know. It's kind of weird.
It's like a George
60s.
Jetson barbecue gun.
Yeah.
Well, have any of you ever seen Star Blazers, the 70s anime Star Blazers?
No.
Are you all too young?
No, I'm just not a big cartoon person or anime person.
It reminds me of their guns. But the SIG P, is it 230? Looks somewhat similar to this. It looks more like a PPK, but with the little more swept in the front. Looks reminiscent of this one. I love that look of that too, but those are expensive also.
So what are we looking at price tag on this thing?
I don't remember what they go for.
How much was your truck?
My truck?
Yeah. It's almost got like a Luger looking safety on it.
I'd say it's kind of a mix between like 3 or 4 different guns. Is that a 22?
Yeah, that one's a 22. So it looks like probably 15 to 2,000, 1,500 to 2,000.
All right, tree gun value. Pistol is currently worth an average price of $1,609.
Yeah.
Trade-in value $1,046. I like it, but I don't know if $1,600 like it.
That's honestly a lot better than I thought it would be.
If I had the money, I would.
Yeah, man, I really, really like that. That is just cool.
Yeah, can you imagine going somewhere with that on your hip? All the questions you'd get.
Woods knows what I'm talking about, but we're the same age, so. But yeah, no, I think that is just a gorgeous gun.
Yeah, those white grips and that chrome frame, man, that was sharp.
Sell you this one for $300.
Pull back, you can't see it. Is that made out of chocolate? What is that?
Yeah, show me the cash if you want to know more about it.
Yeah.
It's probably a Raven Arms.
Or it's a cigarette lighter.
It says Zebra 2 right on it. Come on, guys.
Defense Dad said, Gary's show last night, someone showed a kick-ass race gun version of a Buckmark. You might be talking about Tandem. Well, Tandem Cross has the Kraken frame out now for the Mark IV pistols. They're actually going to make the gun and sell it completed. So from what I'm understanding, I talked to one of the guys the other day. They are actually buying the Mark IVs, taking them in, doing all their upgrades, and then selling the gun complete. But I haven't seen a price on them yet.
So G-Web says he got a link to an empty room.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that too.
We'll try.
Did you try and join G23s?
I didn't set one up.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Well, I don't think I sent him one. I sent you one, so hopefully it gets to you.
It's a long ways to travel to Arizona.
Yeah.
I guess the Misfits darling is leaving because we're not harassing the crap out of Rob.
Okay, I got you. He's been talking nothing but Glock hate, right? If you notice on his commercial there, the mounts he makes are for what magazines for PCCs?
Yeah,
Glock mag compatible.
That's why I always give him a crap about being a secret Glock lover, because he talks all this smack, but then of course he has a Team Glock T-shirt, and he's got other stuff for Glocks.
Gee, if you got shafted, I promise it wasn't me.
Oh no, I just misunderstood. I think I got it figured out now. I thought I got a link, and then I was like, "Oh, wait a minute." And then I was like, "Oh, now I understand." So thanks for the link. Appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for jumping in. There's no real topics for tonight. We're just kind of hanging out, talking about whatever.
What's the deal where you do the show, and then the dude who doesn't do the show is on the show that you're doing because it's not on the show?
So what really happened is he ran out of the free StreamYard hours for the month.
Actually, mine just started.
If that ever happens,
over.
I had
it happens to people.
I had to use 4 email accounts. So if that ever happens, just use another email account, and you got a whole nother group of things. So I would just jump around every 20 hours it would end. I would just jump to another email.
Kingpin is saying the Glock mags are compatible with the trash can.
That's pretty funny.
Oh wow, Defense Dad, that is a beautiful gun too. Man, this one here.
Go ahead and you can share it.
I got it up on my other computer beside me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's called the Buckmark Black Label.
I'll call it up here.
I mean, that one that has those wooden-looking grips on it. Mm.
By the way, see you, Rob. Have a good night.
Oh, so which color grips do we want to look at? Red, black,
Orange.
dirty blue.
Yeah, I was looking at the ones that kind of had that wooden look to them.
Yeah. I kind of like the look of this one. Yeah.
So, FYI, Rich White says there will be no wrestling show tonight because he has company over.
Well, wrestle your company.
And
Make
live
it a
stream
show.
it.
That's right. Take them down to Pound Town. Here you go. How about that one?
I'd still shoot it.
Well, they looked red in the small picture, but they're actually pink. That is kind of a cool looking gun.
I used to see those Buckmarks come in used all the time, but I've never shot one before.
They're super lightweight, right? Like they're not heavy like a Mark II when you pick it up and it's super dense. Aren't these very lightweight?
Which was it? The Ruger Mark series before the 4s that everyone complains about how hard they are to tear down and put back together.
Oh man, you never take one of them apart?
No, I've heard horror stories. I've never owned a Mark series pistol.
I mean, once you knew how to do it, it wasn't too bad. But it had this like goofy pivoting thingy that like kind of it was like something. What the heck did it do? I forgot when. It's just been so long since I took it apart. The carrier has a pin in it or a hole in it, goes up and down, and then something about the back of the grip has this little goofy thing that kind of toggles or pivots, and you have to get it up into the carrier, into that up and down slot. And I can't remember if you could miss it all the time or if it was just such a weird thing. You had to hold the gun upside down and let gravity hold your little like pivoting pin thing straight down, and then hold the gun as even as you could, kind of bring it all together, and then it would fit together. At least that's the way I figured it out. And it was just such a, you like convoluted, like you had to do all this stuff and just have it timed just right. And then, I mean, it was just difficult to explain, let alone to do it. There's probably videos, and I'm sure people that did it all the time had some tricks, but people would literally bring it into gun shops and go, I don't know what I did. Like, there's no way I can put this back together.
Defense Dad says that the Buckmark isn't hard to do if you know what you're doing. I can take my Mark 1 down and reassemble it in less than a minute.
Yeah, I'm sure you get good with it after a while. I just remember hearing people always complaining about it, tearing them down.
He means Mark 1, not the Buckmark. And guy in the comments wondering, other than survival gun, why would you get a Mark Ruger?
Guy that comments just doesn't like anything.
Quiet range with a suppressor. Or teaching kids to shoot fast.
Cheap 22 ammo.
Yeah.
Before Rob left, he had sent me this picture. It's a little
Got one of those
oxygen.
right here.
So it's official. We're living in Spaceballs now.
When he had talked about that on a chat a while back, I thought maybe it was like if there's a fire, then you have a little oxygen supply. I guess it's just.
I got one right here.
Hang on, let me put you up. I thought it was like an emergency thing. I guess it's just to freshen yourself up when you need it.
Now, genuinely, if you had somebody that was having like a panic attack, that might help.
I mean, it's not oxygen. Here, can you hear this? Oh, hold on. Let me put my thing next to it.
Mike, headphone warning, headphone warning.
Could you hear that at all? I mean, it's not
no.
blasting out of here. It's coming out of here. And I got this one half empty, but it's supposedly pilot oxygen. So oxygen is a drug. Like you don't have to be I don't think you have to be prescribed it, but like it can be detrimental. Like it's not, everybody isn't, it's oxygen, pure oxygen is not good for everybody. Like I'm surprised that they do this.
Too much oxygen and you'll get high, and even more, I think it can actually kill you.
Well, like babies, you definitely don't want to put it anywhere near a baby. Like in old people, I'm guessing, and certain other issues, like too much oxygen is not good for you. It's like chemically and stuff. So, and this isn't pure though. This is pilot oxygen, but it's for aerobic performance, recharge and recover, and then altitude and poor quality air. So, a friend of ours got this. Is he out there? A friend of ours got this at SHOT Show. Because he figured out in a road trip that when he lives down by some of you people at sea level. So he was at a road trip driving around at, I don't know, whatever it is at Denver, pretty high. So he was figuring out that this helped him to breathe easier or whatever. And then since he started buying it, he's been buying them just for that extra recharge and recover type of thing. So anyway, he didn't want to fly with it. So he gave it to me. I'm like, heck yeah, I'll take that. So I was using it. I couldn't, I don't know. I would be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to try breathing in a bunch of 95% oxygen. And I couldn't tell the difference between the breath before and the breath after, personally. Doesn't weigh anything.
If anybody's looking for those, judging by the sticker on the kiosk, they have them at Lowe's.
And what did it say? $16? I think you said those are about $16. So they're not giving them away.
Yeah. That looks like a Lowe's sticker.
Y'all go check that video out, Defense Dad. I'm kind of now I want to watch somebody tear one down.
I'm the same way. I had one when I was a kid, so I knew they were complicated, but I never was like, well, this is the most complicated gun in the world. And then as I got older, I'm like, that's the most complicated gun in the world. I think it's because they modeled it after one of the German guns, which is, what's that toggle gun? It modeled it after that, and that's super complicated, I bet. I've never.
Yeah, I love how they look. They look like Lugers.
I think he actually modeled it after the Japanese one.
Is that Nambu?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. They do look nice, though. I do like.
I think I grew up everybody telling us they modeled it after the German one, and then once I got to the internet, I think the real deal is Japan, right? But whatever, I feel like it's the insides are as complicated as the toggle.
So if you squeeze the sides, will it fire? Like the Nambu?
Oh, is that a thing that the Nambus do?
Yeah. Just the baby Nambus will do that. The sear transfer bar is on the outside of the gun, on the left side. So if you go to holster it, the holster can hit it and set the sear off.
Have y'all ever played with Nambus?
No.
I had when I was doing websites, one of my people I did website for is an importer. So I've played with a lot of Nambus. They are they're definitely some of the cheapest, like most inexpensive, like crudely made guns I've ever dealt with, ever felt. Like Arisakas are pretty cheap. They're definitely an Arisaka like, except even cheaper than an Arisaka. But they're super neat. They're just, it seems like somebody might have whittled them in a prison or something.
towards the end of the war, that could be very likely.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, they probably were down on, like, they probably couldn't sharpen tools at least, right? Fewer and fewer tools.
Well, they couldn't even get gun quality steel to cast receivers with, or to forge receivers with.
Oh yeah, I never thought about that. Like if they're melting down bathtubs or something, then they're only going to get so much metal out, or so much type of metal out of it.
Yeah. My great grandpa brought back a Arisaka from Okinawa, and that's how that one is. It's got like the wood butt plate, the pot metal receiver, the nail sling swivels. It's rough.
Oh, by the way, G-Webs, I enjoyed your show today. I sat here and listened to that for a long time.
Right on. Yeah, I intended to do like, well, we've been doing long shows for a while. I'm gonna do an hour. That didn't work.
I was sitting there doing video editing all day, so I was on my subscriptions, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to listen to this while I'm doing this.
Well, we didn't have too many pauses. It wasn't like, we were struggling. So,
No.
Good one. And I really like being able to chat with like Tony and Clover, where we don't have like, we're not like wrapping it around some topic of the day or like, some other show that we just happen to both be in there for. So just a chance to kind of ramble on it.
Yeah, it was a good show. You guys chat, and the side chat was fun.
I don't know. I wouldn't say Men of Tupperware is saying most of the Kel-Tec designs look like they were manufactured in private prisons. I would say they look more like they were designed by 9-year-olds. So they're way out of the box designs, poorly executed.
I was going to go with people on psychedelics, but I'll take 9-year-olds too.
How about 9-year-olds on psychedelics?
I really like the way they look and everything, but yeah, there's sometimes it's the function that seems to get them. Yeah,
I had a P380 years ago, and the end of the recoil guide rod, where it's circular to sit into the barrel, that would shear off every time I would shoot it. So every time I would shoot it, I have to spin it because it'd been flattened on one side.
Yeah, the other nightmare, I don't know about all their guns, but I know anytime you want to do any kind of upgrading or fix something and having to split the whole gun in half, that's a real pain in the ass too.
Yeah, I had a sub 2K as well, and I never took it apart farther than pulling the bolt assembly out of the back of it.
Yeah, when I did all the M Carbo upgrade stuff to mine, I had to split it apart twice, and man, I mean,
yeah, I don't envy you for that. I gave that gun to my brother too.
Is it like you have to have all the parts perfectly aligned when you put them back together, kind of thing?
Yeah.
Or the springs jump. Yeah.
See, and maybe they just did the KSGs right, because you can take that down without having to have any special tools. All you need is a quarter, or something like a quarter, and you can completely strip that thing all the way down in no time at all and put it back together. I mean,
well, that's a lot newer of a design compared to like the P380 or the sub 2K. The early sub 2Ks were out in the 90s.
Well, what's not the P50? I know that's like their newest gun out, but was it that CP33 or whatever?
Yeah.
I think you have to. I know M Carbo has a complete kit for it too, and I think you have to split that handgun in half to get all those parts in too. So I don't know what their deal is with that, but
I will say I still do have the CMR30 on my bucket list, and I want to SBR it.
Yeah,
because they kind of look like an MP7. It'd be like a poor man's MP7.
That would be cool.
But the problem with those is I can't find them anywhere. I've been looking for a while.
Have you checked online?
Yeah, but they're never at a price I want to pay. You know, when the supply on them was steady, they were going for I think like $3.99 or $4.99, and I don't want to pay too much more than that.
Is that the 5.7 or is that the one that's like a 22 that
It's
has the top that doesn't reciprocate?
It's the 22 Magnum, the same magazines as the PMR 30, but it's like a carbine with a telescoping stock and a non-reciprocating charging handle.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that one then.
I don't know. Maybe if DM's not bothered, you can throw a picture up, but they are kind of neat looking.
Which one?
The CMR 30.
Oh, I get it now. Carbine
Yeah.
MR30 instead of pistol MR30. Okay.
Yeah. But they're if you cut the barrel off right in the front, it almost looked like an MP7, which is why I want one.
Yeah, I was busy watching
an
Chris
MP.
look at the
I had the pistol for a minute.
Yeah,
really
that
like
is neat looking.
I made a
30
video comparing the PMR 30 with FN57. Holy moly! You think 9mm versus 45 is like a debate? Like, tell people that their FN is the same as a Keltec, and watch the comment.
Yeah. I would say that make a pretty slick little survival carbine too.
Mm-hmm.
30 rounds of 22 Magnum.
That's cool.
So does the brace stock? I assume it goes forward too.
Yeah, like an MP5.
Yeah. Wow.
Rides in the rails.
Yeah, I like that. 22 mag would be fun too.
That's probably number 2 on my bucket list right now.
Yeah, when you were talking about it,
influence.
When you were talking about it, I was watching Chris on his screen look at it. On his screen.
I knew what he was talking about. I just was like, I can't picture it right now. And yeah,
well,
that is
I
cool.
didn't think to look it up myself. I was just busy watching your little screen.
What's up, Bulldog? Good to see you.
Exactly. It's an MP7 you can own as a civilian.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one in any stores around here either. So now that every store I go to has the CM33 or whatever, the pistol-like version of it. But
yeah, I was working at an FFL when they came out in, I think, 2019. And dude, we had like containers full of them. And now I can't find one anywhere.
AR Gun 1776 and Senior Master Sergeant Bulldog.
What's up, AR?
TJ Persicity. Oh, so what else you guys want to talk about?
I'll be right back. I'm going to get my iPad real quick.
I've got absolutely nothing.
Has everybody been working out and weighing themselves for barbecue's weight loss show tonight?
No.
Yourselves ready? Shaving, oiling up.
I didn't know there was a challenge, but I've lost like 20 pounds this month.
Oh, right on. Hopefully not because of a bad thing. Hopefully intentionally. In a good way.
No, better diet choices.
Right on. That's awesome.
Yep.
Okay, so the Minotepor says 14 people got shot in a hookah lounge in Vegas this morning. I have no idea. I don't really watch the news, and I
Yeah.
haven't heard anything on it.
I hadn't heard about it either. I didn't know there were hookah lounges in the U.S.
It's about anything in Vegas.
Now, is the hookah lounge at the Bunny Ranch? Just a question.
So 1 dead, 13 wounded.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a lot of details just yet.
Party at the lounge. 2 individuals got into an altercation, gunfire. 13 people wounded, 1 dead. So there was a violent altercation that 2 criminals wounded a bunch of other people.
Foss, I sent you a picture on Discord. I'd like you to show Chris, please.
Oh, okay. It'll take me a second.
No worries.
Oh, wow. I like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
And Vanessa has a good question also. What are you burning in said hookahs? Because a true hookah lounge would be hash.
I think around here it's like candied tobacco.
Yeah, I think they put some kind of flavors in the tobacco. There's a market here that has like a whole aisle of stuff that you put in the hookah. And it's not like a marijuana shop. It's like a, buy all kinds of food there. But I think it's like cherries and nuts and berries and stuff they just put in with the tobacco.
Can you zoom in on that, Foss?
No,
Enhanced.
that's it.
Sorry, I just grabbed a picture off of Google of an SBR one.
Oh, that's kind of cool looking. For a guy that comments, I don't think it's really so much desensitized to mass murder. It's not. It's things like this have gone on since there has been man, and it's kind of I would consider it a local story. It's not, they weren't shooting up a federal building, which would affect everyone. This affects them and their families, and it's not a good thing, but to me, it's not really a national story.
See,
I don't think it's a mass murder attempt if they're saying it started as a fight. It sounds more like they're careless and people that don't feel there's consequences for their actions, right?
not only that, but anymore it seems like no matter what the situation or backstory is, a lot of times the media wants to jump on it and sensationalize these stories because they have, other agendas that they want to go with. And, right now, this situation doesn't fit the narrative of what the media is trying to sensationalize right now. So unfortunately, you're not going to get a lot of coverage, and so I don't really think that we're being desensitized to this kind of stuff. It's not every shooting needs to make front page news and give ammunition to more and more anti-gun propaganda.
And I figured out how to make the picture bigger, so maybe you can see it a little better.
Man, I haven't even paid off my Taurus TX22 yet. Now I already want another gun.
There you go, buddy. Hey, Foss,
I
gotta
do
take
like
off.
that.
Oh, okay. Thanks for jumping in.
Yeah, hopefully I'll see you on your show later if I can remember to
Okay.
wake up.
It's good talking to you. I had fun.
Yeah, you too. I'll catch you guys later.
Have
Hey,
a
here's
great
a pro
evening.
tip. If you're ever concerned about not getting up for the overnight, just call and let somebody know that you want to talk about car insurance about 10 or 15 minutes before the overnight starts, and you'll start getting phone calls.
How you doing, Kingpin?
All right. Good to see everybody. Thanks for the invite.
Oh, thanks for coming on. I think it's the first time I've had you on any of my chats.
Yeah, indeed.
How's it going, Kingpin?
Not too bad. Good to see you, man.
Always good to see you, Kingpin.
My pleasure, Chris. Evening, G.
Good evening.
So what are you up to today, Kingpin?
Thankfully, today is little as possible.
Nothing wrong with that.
I tend to agree with that. 2A.
All right, I've got a subject that might be controversial. It's a little bit off subject. It's a little bit on a tangent.
Oh, go ahead.
So I was listening to a live chat earlier this week that had Beth Alcazar, who's a Second Amendment advocate out of Alabama. She was talking about going to Wisconsin and drinking something called a lemon drop, which is supposedly somewhere between a Mountain Dew and a Sprite or Slice. I can't remember. So has anybody ever heard of a mountain? Wait, what did I just say?
Well,
Lemon drop?
There's a lemon drop that's an alcoholic beverage.
No, yeah, they made it clear it was not that. It was a soda.
Oh.
Somewhere from Wisconsin or something. Wondering if anybody's had one and if they would be interested in drinking something that lies somewhere between a Mountain Dew and a Slice. To me, it seems like an unnecessary division. So Mountain Dew, I'm okay with. There's Squirt, Mountain Dew, right? And then there's 7-Up, Sprite.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it. There's I think Sun Drop, but I haven't heard of.
Oh, that might be it. That might be it. I don't know. I'm trying to remember, but anyway, that was my topic. Does anybody ever drink this other drink?
I don't think I ever tried it. They tried to. All their ads seem to try and cater to inner city. But other than that, that's all I remember about the Sun Drop. I didn't know they're still being made. For a while there, there was.
Oh, it's like a tab or something. It's like an old option.
Kind of 90s. But I haven't really heard anything of them in a long time.
What was the other one that was real popular that kind of drifted away? That was like Surge. Wasn't it called Surge?
Yeah, the really caffeinated. But this is Sun Drop. I figured it was kind of like 7-Up or Sprite.
Yeah, and I don't know. I can't say I've had a lot of those other than I must have had enough of them to know that it doesn't interest me to pursue more of those. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they're kind of sour sodas, I guess. Like, all right, thanks. I had oh man. Is it Squirt? No.
Squirt's the grapefruit juice. Grapefruit
version of 7-Up, sort of.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, there's differences, but I'm done. Like, I don't need to know there's, it's neat to know there's out there, but they're not what I'm looking for. So anyway,
there was when I worked in Pullman, Washington, where Washington State University is, I worked at a grocery store, and there was the frats will hire house mothers who will do cooking and stuff for them. And there was a lady who would come in regularly. She was a house mother, and she would use Squirt when she made cakes because it kept the cakes moist.
Oh yeah, I've definitely heard of stuff like that.
Yeah, I know a lot of people put like 7-Up in like batter for cakes or stuff like that. and I've never had one of these. I think I've seen one but I Googled it and it says that it has a high caffeine content. So it probably something in the realm of like the Surge, which was done by Coca-Cola.
Surge, like to compete with Mountain Dew's caffeine. Surge, like not just the flavor, but also the caffeine. Okay, now it makes more sense.
So this is kind of like Dr. Pepper's equivalent to the Surge and stuff like that, in my opinion.
Gary and
soda in cakes. I think what that is there's corn syrup. When you add the corn syrup, that adds like that. I don't know what to call that. It's a binding agent or whatever, and it's going to give it like a characteristic that sugar can't. That's what I'm guessing, because everything else, the carbonated water goes away, the flavoring, well, it'll stay there a little bit, but I bet you it's the corn syrup, because there are some recipes for things that when you start adding corn syrup, they turn more like fudge.
Man, I loved Mellow Yellow when I was younger.
Gizzard Gary, Captain Codebook, and our Attacking Daughters are out in the chat.
I like Codebook's question. Do any of you ever not YouTube chat? Don't ever start it, Codebook. It's a bad habit to break.
If you got your computer somewhere where it's in the middle of everything, like I got things going to the right of me and things going to the left. So like I'm waiting for 3D prints and I've got other projects. So
there you are, stuck in the middle again.
Well, I mean, it's something that, unless you're doing a speech or something, you're not in here the whole time. You can jump in and out.
I don't know. It's fun. It's basically you're hanging out with buddies and talking. And then when you're running chats yourself, it's fun talking to everybody that's out in the side chat, plus everybody that's in the chat with you.
Here's what I think about these chats, because I've been doing them for a little while, right? Since basically 2009. I want to say basically every day since 2009. They're a little bit like a radio station, or having like a working at a WKRP type of radio station, right? Because everybody's got their own like little equipment and stuff, and to some extent we're all working together and we fill in for each other and that kind of thing, right? Like you're doing right now, literally. And then to some extent it's like a bar, except you don't have to be drunk or be, worry about getting a ride home or none of that. Like you show up, it's kind of like Cheers or something. Like you got a place where you can hang out at VFW Hall, except, you decide where you want to hang out. So I think they got that stuff going on. And then the real part is it's sort of like the Paul Revere. Like I don't watch the news at all. Like I don't ever turn on the news. I go into these chats and I hear what's going on. And judging by how often you hear about it, you can tell the volume that it's being pushed out there. So, we need to get the word out or whatever, like about stuff. When stuff got crazy, like literally 2 years ago when stuff got crazy, it was the people that were in these chats that kept me from getting crazy, because I knew a whole bunch of people all over the country that were real. And we were having these conversations. We weren't learning nothing. We were able to disseminate info way faster in real life than, like than newspapers or family or anything could have ever done.
And the thing is without some of these chats, probably 90% of us would probably never have known what was going on with like the ATF pistol brace and redefinition of receivers. And to be able to push that out to, help maybe keep all the negative things from coming into effect and not just be ran over by like every town and Bloom Turd and stuff like that. People like G-Webs, Kingpin, Gizzard Gary, and the list of people that go on, Guns and Barbecue, getting that information out. Every person could cover it and still have different ways of covering it. So it didn't seem like a broken record, You could still have different opinions that all led to the same goal.
Well, yeah, you think about me like 6 months ago, I didn't even know these things existed. And then I got invited on Echo's show, and then got invited on a couple other shows. And then I'm like, damn, I like doing this so much. I'm just going to do my own. And I love doing these. I don't really like going out, like hanging out around people, like going to bars and stuff anymore. Probably just because I'm older now, but this is what I mean, I like doing this. I think it's fun.
Yeah, G23 was my first. He was gentle, so I kept coming back. And I think Gizzard Gary was the second one that I went on. He got G23 sloppy seconds.
No, I really do enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of weird too. Like, you notice like when you're live, you might only have 15, 20, 30 people watching you. And then you go back a couple weeks later, and sometimes that show got viewed 250 times or whatever. And sometimes I'm like, damn, I don't know why anybody would want to listen to me talk, but somebody does.
Maybe yours. I don't get 250. Mandatory carry. It's out there. Defense Dad says, I'll give you all the props. I love being on panels, but I wouldn't do well on my own show. Coming up with topics every week wouldn't be my thing. I struggle with that. I mean, it's a little easier for me because I only do 2 a month. I do it every other week. And that's part of the reason. So I don't have to come up with that many topics. And then, a little bit because of just the way my schedule is,
These live shows branch out far beyond what we can even. I mean, G-Webs might have a slight idea because he's been doing it for so long. But the power of the replay, what the replay means to a lot of people, including myself, because I can put this on instead of listening to the garbage radio, and helps me get through 16 hours of work a day when I can click do everybody's different live stream.
That's what I'll do. I'll, find a chat, find some long form content, put it on while I'm doing stuff, listen to it. Or when I go to bed, I have to put on the radio or something to stop my brain from thinking. Otherwise I'll start thinking about stuff, and then I'll get up and start doing stuff and not go to bed. But so I'll throw on a chat when I go lay down.
Yeah, and sometimes you got chats that are overlapping someone else's too, and then you want to go back and listen to them. So I don't know. It's cool. It's just a cool thing to do.
I don't know. I'd say, Defense Dad, you never know. You might be able to reach somebody that other people can't reach with, the topics that you bring up or the way that you talk about a topic. That's one of the reasons I think it's good to have as many people involved as possible. Somebody that would listen to me might not listen to Chris, and vice versa. And I personally believe we need to grow the community as big as possible to bring in people that, maybe you don't agree 100% with them, but the more people that are invested in the Second Amendment, the better we can protect our rights. That's my opinion.
I think Defense Dad I think he'd do good with a live show. I love his channel. I like watching his content. I think he'd be good at it.
I think,
and you talk about people coming in. It's like when I first started doing this, I'd get 3 or 4 like personal friends of mine, like guys that I see every day. They were starting to stop in the side chat, and they started talking to people. And then I noticed like a month later, now they're popping up and say Echo's chat, or they're over in AR's chat. So I think there's a lot of people out there that would get into these chats. You just got to get them on one, and then they're hooked.
Well, Defense Dad's going to have to do a live show because Guns and Barbecue's running out of people to steal from in court.
I'd say give it a try, Defense Dad. Just fire one up. That's what I did. I wanted to, I had been on chat. I had watched chats for a while, then, came on G23's, went on Gary's and some other people's. And so I saw how it was to be on the chat. Then I wanted to learn more about what goes on when you run your own chat, because each of those things are different. Just watching it or participating or running your own chat. And so I wanted to learn more about that, what it was like to run your own chat. So I got Baron to come with me, and we did a chat so I could see how running everything worked. And I honestly thought that would be the only one. I saw what it was, and then that would be good. But I had more I wanted to say. I had more opinions I wanted to get across to people. And so it ended up being twice a month now. Give it a try. Just do one. One. Everybody's doing it. Cool kids are.
That's like I noticed today, Me the People. He did a little live, like he was out ammo hunting or something. And he was he didn't have anybody watching, and I watch his channel, I watch his content, and so I jumped in and chatted with him for a while. And you got to try it. I mean, you don't know till you do it.
And 2A we stand. He said he was thinking about doing. I would say doing. Definitely would like to see you do one. I enjoy your little when you do your little opinion pieces. I think
definitely needs his own show.
I think you would do really well.
If he needs somebody on as a guest, I would say I have no problem joining. If you want somebody to talk to, that'd be a pretty awesome.
He did, yeah, because he was really good that night when he was with us, chatting with us. So yeah, he'd be another one. Be a really good show.
Plus, you could just do. A lot of people do chats where they're the only person there. They don't have a panel. They just pop on their live stream and hang out with the people in the chat room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that. I'm not a good enough talker to be able to, like Never Enough Ammo and the Yankee Marshall. Guys like that, they can talk and talk and talk, and I need somebody to talk to.
Yeah, but neither one of those dudes ever say anything. They say a lot of words, but nothing ever comes out of their mouths.
If you like RGG, a regular gun guy, there's times where he does live streams just, and he's talking with everyone out in the chat. And so it's kind of based on how the chat drives the conversation. And then there's times where he has panelists on there with him. So, Santee does that same stuff. And yeah, who is it else? Big Dre 357. He does that also. There's times G-Webs is the only one talking, even though he says that he wants other people in there. But there's times where he's the only one that does it, and he still manages to get everything done.
Yeah, doesn't Bald and Curious always goes on by himself too when he does his, doesn't he?
Yeah, for the most part. He's done a chat or two with a panel, but for the most part, he just pops in to hang out.
Well, yeah, Men of Tupperware. He does all his chats solo. But I can't do it solo. That first chat that I did it solo because I was doing that giveaway, and I'm like, I don't like this. I'm like, I gotta have people on the panel with me. This isn't working.
And then the second time you did a giveaway, they just happened to pop up saying that I damn well won as I'm trying to teach you how to do the. Oh
yeah. And then the third one, I got drunk and wiped out the wheel of names. That was smart. Yeah. Growing pains, right?
You never know till you try something.
Yeah. Trial and error.
So other than doing chats, what are you guys up to this weekend?
I'm going to head to the range in the morning. I got another review I want to go do. That's what I got planned for tomorrow. And then I'll start sitting there in the afternoon dreading that I got to go back to work on Monday.
I had a prep to go back to work on Monday.
I've been printing 10-hour print. It's like 98%. I think it's like 9 hours and 36 minutes, but whatever. And then it's something that one of the reasons I even wanted to get a 3D printer was to play around with this concept. And then concept is the key term, because I just kind of vaguely knew, like, oh, I think this would be a great idea. Now I had no idea the details or like how to actually pursue it. So I've had the 3D printer for a bit, played around with it, learned how to use the software and stuff. And I sat down to put like my first attempt at this project that I'm intentionally being vague about. And was like, oh, wait a minute. And it all kind of fell together. So now that's where I'm at. I'm printing. I'm like at 9 hours and 30 minutes, 9 hours of a 9 hour and 30-minute print, waiting to see what the end result is of something that I'm not saying it's the final result, but like I'm pretty sure I found something towards one of the projects I even wanted a 3D printer for. So I'm not going to be more precise than that because I'm going to make a video out of it and stuff. But anyway, that's what I've been doing, printing and then watching the stuff print now.
Yeah, I saw your Instagram post for and your YouTube short where you asked people to guess what it is, but all you've done was put down like one layer on the bottom.
Yeah, pretty much that's what it was exactly. And that's what's the end of the other side of it right now.
So 2A, we said, Stan says, I really like to thank everyone for the support. And it's really easy to support somebody that is, doing a great job and, getting out there, and who does also support other people, So yeah, I have zero problems getting behind you and, supporting.
Yeah, he's got my support 100%. Good guy.
Mandatory Carry is asking, G-Webs, would you take a commission 3D print?
I don't know what you mean, but yeah, I mean, I got a deal on the website for if you want to have me make something like, the 3D part. The print part, I'm not an expert on making it happen out of my printer, but I mean, I'll make a run at it. Yeah, let me know what you need.
Yeah, I think he's like wanting something printed, and he'd pay for, whatever the supplies are or whatever. That's kind of what I'm getting out of that question.
I'll attempt it. I'm just saying I'm not like an expert. I've only had the thing for months, and I'm, printed X amount of time, so I'm not like printing out perfect 3D prints every time. But if it's like close enough, then yeah, I'll do it.
Well,
I finally got a material that I can print with that's decent.
Is it listed on your website?
Sorry, yeah, under services on gear websites, I think it's $50.
Okay, so Mandatory Carry, head over here. on under, you said services?
Appreciate that plug. But yeah, I just looked and it turns out I don't have it over there. But I will have it over there eventually. But you could grab
can
something
email
like,
him.
yeah, definitely email me. But yeah, I'll eventually have it under there. Like I have the cartoon and stuff like that.
So, yeah, I agree with what 2A We Stand says. He says, I love these lives. It's like meeting new people without traveling. And another thing about like the lives is, where else are you going to get, say, 20 people from all over the United States at the same place at the same time? You know, so you can be like-minded and have a large discussion about topics. And even if not everyone has to be like-minded, I would love to get some people in that maybe aren't as like-minded as we are, and have an actual discussion.
So he said he'll email you, G-Webs.
Right on. Thanks. Yeah, and they don't have to be like-minded, but like focused on the similar subject or like interested in the similar subject is all. And like you say, bringing everybody together so we can actually focus on it instead of like whatever, something else or something that we all like will settle for. Instead, we can be talking about something we all care about.
If somebody was anti, or even maybe not super pro, and they reached out and emailed me and said, hey, I would love to come and talk to you on your live stream, I'd bring them on just to see, but if we got into a big old screaming match, then yeah, it's probably going to end and I'm going to boot them from the show, but I'd still give it a chance.
Now that you say it that way, I feel like if you're not super pro 2A and you shoot 9mm, that's the same as being anti. It's like 2 strikes and you're out. Like if you decide to shoot 9, then you should have to amp up your 2A. It's like to balance.
User Gary says a good show is kind of like the TV show Cheers, where everybody knows your name. A place you can go at night where people hang out, and you can talk about things you care about.
Who's Carla?
I'd say Gary. They're about the same height.
Oh, snap. He got Carla in his own example.
Yeah, I think you'd have to watch though, like how hard, like they'd have to be on the fence. I don't know. I think you'd definitely end up in a screaming match if they were like completely left hating guns,
If Bloom Turd himself sent me an email, I'd bring him on. I would.
Oh, yeah.
I have zero problems because I would love to destroy him with facts.
Yeah, but the facts don't mean anything to people like that, though. That's the thing. That's what I guess that's the point I was trying to make. Like, you're not gonna change your mind.
Defense Dad said he didn't used to be super pro 2A. He was one of those people who said nobody needs an AR-15. He had to wake up and do the research at one point.
So, to answer Baron's question, he would definitely have to be Woody.
I was going to say the restaurant owner upstairs. Doesn't he come down and get in fights all the time?
Every once in a while. But, I say Woody because he's the main character's side, sidekick, but he's always like kind of making mistakes.
Bernie Sanchez is out there. Good evening.
See you, Bernie.
So he says, if I'm Woody, who was Coach?
Oh snap! I forgot about Coach, the entire character, until you said that. I totally forgot.
Who's dead?
Well, you would have to be Ted because you'd have to be,
No, not Ted. Dead.
Oh.
Coach is dead. That's why he was not on the show anymore. The actor died.
But who would be like that?
It was a joke.
No, but I'm saying, like, I'm trying to think of, like, who would be the person who's like that the most? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm going to say I don't know.
We got a lot of Norms, and who is the post guy?
Cliff.
We have a lot of Cliffs and Norms, right?
Yeah.
In fact, we're probably all Cliffs and Norms.
Yeah. So what? So Woody was the second string bartender who came in.
He came in after Coach, I guess. Actually, now that I think
Yeah,
about
he
it.
replaced Coach.
But I think for
Coach
some
died.
reason I thought of them being there together. Were they ever there together?
I think all three of them were there for a little bit.
I thought so, but maybe I'm thinking of Ted Danson and Coach. It's been a long time. That's a lot of. I mean, I was a little kid when that movie show started.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought he came in after, but they might have been on.
Could have, yeah. I mean, didn't it go through 3 girls, or am I crazy?
Well, it went through 2.
2. Okay, just 2.
There's,
But then you had Frasier came off of that, and that was a massive show on its own. And that
Yeah.
came from that show. Did another show come from that one? I know another one tried to, like, what's her face had her own show. Carla had her own show.
yeah, I don't know. I guess Woody was there with Coach.
How many people even know the show that we're talking about? We just assuming stuff here? Like nobody knows what we're talking about?
Yeah, I watched Cheers. I'm almost 50 years old, so I know what you're talking about.
I mean, we had to, like, even if you didn't like Cheers, you watched Cheers because it was
Yeah.
pretty much constantly on, right? It's like MASH.
Yeah, but
I've seen it.
when I was a kid, there was only like 5 channels, so you had to.
Yeah.
You watched stuff you didn't even want to watch.
Yeah, like I was just saying, MASH. I don't like MASH that much. I think it's kind of lame, but I've seen every MASH like 5 times. Can't help it.
Yep, I agree with you 100% on that one.
I mean, there's elements of MASH I liked. I liked the part where they were always trying to like trade stuff or like Radar. I think we'd get stuff like, you know, barter or whatever.
Or something. It's a MASH. What the hell is that?
I remember going to the Smithsonian as a little kid, and they had the MASH tent in there as if like the world will never forget this TV show. This TV show is so important that it'll be in the Smithsonian.
I forgot about Hogan's Heroes, Kingpin. That was a good one.
Not my war.
Yeah, I watch Hogan's Heroes every day.
Yeah, so Woody Harrelson came in after, according to biography.com. Came in to replace Coach.
Yeah, that's what he got hired for. Is after Coach died,
Yeah.
they needed a bartender.
Vince Dad said, Fraser's wife, Lilith, I had a crush on.
Really?
Lilith, what? I think she only showed her face one time in that whole entire 1 or 2 times in the whole time, but they'd like kind of just mention her, and you'd see glimpses of her, like, but she actually, I don't think,
On
showed her face.
Frasier or
On
Oh.
Frasier, she was definitely on. But on
Oh yeah.
Cheers, maybe.
Cheers, she was
Yeah.
on with Frasier.
Here's a good topic. Okay, so we're talking about crushes on TV shows. So a show you watched growing up as a kid, who was your crush?
Wonder
Aaron
Woman.
Gray.
Who?
Aaron Gray.
Buck Rogers.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And Silver Spoons.
Oh,
But-
snap. Silver Spoons. Holy moly. Yeah.
Linda Carter also, I would say.
Yeah, that
Wonder
Linda
Woman.
Carter was hot.
pretty.
Wonder Woman and Charlie's Angels. So she could be Wonder Woman around and then also be a cop.
I got Barbara Eden.
Yeah, that's.
Nope.
I could.
No, never for me. No, not Jeannie.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. Defense Dad, Tiffany Amber Thiessen. Mine was Lisa Bonet. God, I loved her. Man, I just thought she was hot.
Yeah.
Oh, is that Cosby's kid?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
I didn't watch Cosby, and then kind of saw her more after Cosby when she had the nose ring, and I hate nose rings.
Well, the good thing though, the Different World spinoff brought us Jasmine Guy and that I can't think of the white chick's name right now. From My Cousin Vinny.
Dude,
Marissa
Marissa
Tomei.
Tomei.
Yeah.
Come on, man. No, that was a
Here's
good show too. Yeah.
User Gary saying Valerie Bertinelli.
Oh yeah, she was good looking.
Yeah. From
Um,
what is that called?
Whatever Life.
No,
Shit.
no.
Facts of Life.
No.
No,
That was the one with Frasier, and they lived in a house, right?
No,
Well, Valerie Bertinelli, she was
Cool.
the
was in the-
sisters with the single mom.
Yeah,
and
and or not Frasier. What's the guy's name? The guy with the cigarettes in his shirt.
Yeah,
yeah,
the
the
maintenance
custodian
man.
guy.
Yeah, Schneider. Schneider was the maintenance guy, right?
Yeah,
One Day at a Time.
One Day.
there we go.
Yeah. Thanks, Gary.
And if there's any women who are watching this in replay or watching this now,
That's
yes,
okay.
we're
Back
all.
then, women were objects. It was okay back then.
If we had women in here, they could say men, or they could give their opinion on all this.
Hey,
But they're
here's the balance. Here's the complete balance. We had to wear them weird shorts back in the day. Them really short 70s shorts. So There you go. You're welcome, ladies.
Yeah,
I
Kat
remember-
Dennings is a good one. I like her personality. And she was cool. Nev Campbell. Yeah.
That
Nev
one
Campbell.
right there.
Mhm.
The first time the Scream movie came out, I felt head over heels in love with Nev Camp.
Yep.
I don't know. I had a crush on Jennifer Love Hewitt and crap. What was the other chick's name? She was on. What was it? Like the show was based off, it's like Seattle, like after the apocalypse or whatever.
Oh,
And you always saw her at the
Yeah.
Space Needle.
Wait, what? Are you talking
I know-
about Jericho? Not Jericho, the other one that was with the people from Beverly Hills 90210, but it was like Jericho.
No, this was
I know what you're talking about, and I cannot think of the name of it.
woman.
Were you talking about Dark Angel?
Dark
Yeah.
Angel. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Jessica Alba. Never.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy moly.
Yeah.
That's
She
number
has not aged at all.
one. No, Jessica Alba
No.
is literally number one.
Yeah, there's another good one. Denise Richards.
I own Dark Angel on DVD because I bought that one time. That series or whatever on DVD. So the apocalypse happens. I'm still watching Dark Angel on my $5 DVD player.
I never watched it.
I don't know.
Well, that was.
How-
Oh wait, you never watched Dark Angel? That's
No.
when Jessica Alba was 18, running around being like a Catwoman superhero type of cyborg. She was like Terminator mixed with Catwoman, saving the planet from the global warming or something. It was awesome.
She
Man.
looked a little like my sister, so I didn't want to watch her.
Oh well, then that would be different. Yeah.
Ozzy's going way back.
But okay, so he says Marianne. Now let's bring the argument. Let's have this one. Mary Ann or Ginger.
Ginger. Marianne.
Yeah, that's not really an argument. I mean, Ginger wasn't even attractive. I mean, just to be honest.
Just being practical too. Ginger constantly broke stuff, so it's like, you really want to be risking your life on an island with some chick who keeps breaking stuff or like misunderstanding things all the time? Like Marianne had a head on her shoulders, right?
And she can make coconut cream pie.
Oh, now Gunpowder Beauty's here.
Yep. Gunpowder Beauty says Dark Angel was friggin' awesome.
Isn't she supposed to be having a baby or something?
She just can't let go.
You're gonna have to let the kids go at some point.
So if you weren't listening, Gunpowder Beauty, we're objectifying women right now. So you're more than
But
welcome.
from back in the days when it was still popular to do so, so it was okay.
Yeah, from the 70s and 80s.
Well,
and 60s.
Technically, we're safe because there is no such thing as women anymore. So we can't really be objectifying something that doesn't exist.
They never declared what they wanted to be, what their pronouns were. How do we know what they were?
So we could ask Gunpowder Beauty who her crush was when she was growing up as actors or actresses.
All right, let me throw one out there. And it might just be me, but I don't think it is just me. Vicki Lawrence.
I can see that. And then she had that top hit, the night the lights went out in Georgia.
Are we talking about the same Vicki Lawrence?
That was Vicki Lawrence. She sang that.
That was Mama's Family, Vicki Lawrence?
Yep.
Wow,
that was
I didn't
her.
know that.
And then Reba McEntire covered it sometime later.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Oh, you're talking about Mama's Family and Carol Burnett's show, lady.
Yep.
Nope.
Kristen Bell.
Okay.
I'm drawing a blank on that one.
Kristen Bell?
Yeah.
Oh, what's the name of that TV show? Hold on. We would have been like in college. She was born in like the 80s or something.
So it's.
Oh, that's right. She was in some show where she's basically a detective. I can't think of the name.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Now I know who you're talking about.
Veronica Mars.
Yep.
She was born July 18th, 1980.
Yeah, that's creepy.
So
Gunpowder Beauty said the lead singer of Godsmack or Johnny Depp was hers.
See, I can agree with Kristen Bell because I was born the same year as her. So
Bernie Sanchez is saying Elvira.
Mm-hmm. Back in the days of when we were talking about having like a couple of shows on, like if you were around for the Elvira show, you were watching the Elvira show. Plus, it was a movie.
She was when all us young kids were staying up past our bedtime to watch, wasn't it? Sandra Bullock. I never got into her.
I really liked The Net, though. That movie was so cool.
Yeah.
Like the fake, like.
Oh, no, she had good movies.
And craziness. I like a bunch of her movies, actually, but I like The Net. Like, that one was so fake at the time, but, like, the computer stuff was so, like, kind of fake. But what's crazy about it is we knew it was coming, and it was science fiction. You know, it was making it look like computers could do way more than they could. But if you watch it, it was almost, I want to say 100%, but it seems like it was very close to being where we went with computers. So it's a movie that was trying to just do something fancy or like sci-fi, but then it ended up being like a prediction of the future as far as internet and mobile laptops and stuff. It was pretty neat. Oh, and then I guess the whole part about identity theft and all that kind of stuff was part of it too. Sorry, nerd thing, but it's a good nerd movie.
Oh yeah, there we go. Kelly LeBrock. I forgot about her.
Or Crystal Bernard.
Wings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tara Smith's Kitchen. So if you haven't been listening, like we're objectifying women, you're welcome to join in and objectify women or men or both as you see fit. Kind of talking about crushes, TV crushes from, you know, when you're younger.
Okay. Tisha Campbell Martin.
Get out.
Megan Fox.
Ban him from the chat immediately.
Megan Fox, I'm going to say pre-surgery Megan Fox, not post-surgery. Before she had all that cosmetic surgery done. Okay, see ya.
How can you not like Gina from Martin?
Oh yeah, I liked her.
The show was terrible, and she had more teeth than like 5 girls.
Jason Momoa, that's the one. I think that's the one my fiance likes. I think she definitely has a secret crush on that guy.
Oh snap, Gabrielle.
Xena had a thing for Gabrielle. In the last episode, they kissed. So, I'll ask a question. What was your favorite show as a kid?
Cheers or Frasier. I really liked Frasier growing up.
Are we talking like sitcom? Or are we talking like just something that came on the television?
Whatever came on the television, whatever you liked. And it's kind of a tough question. I understand that. So it may not be your most favoritist ever. Just whatever you liked.
Hogan's Heroes, and then I always liked the cartoon version of The Grinch That Stole Christmas.
Yeah, I used to watch Hogan's Heroes with my granddad. We'd sit out in the den. He was a World War II vet. He did early on tell me, so you understand this isn't how it was. I said, yes, I understand that.
Hogan's Heroes was good. I really liked Frasier, and one that probably a lot of people will like go, what the hell? But Party of Five was actually really good back then.
Never saw it.
I used to watch that Smallville, and then there was the kid version where Batman was still the little boy and all that kind of stuff. I think they called it Gotham. The problem that I have, and then the only other one I watched was that the Blacklist. But after the third season of any of these shows, they go right into the dumpster for me, and I can't watch them anymore.
I tried to watch Smallville, but I think it was Smallville where every episode was whatever it was being caused by kryptonite.
See, I could never get into like the sci-fi kind of stuff. So I don't know. I liked with like Party of Five because they had a lot of good topics. You know, like when they were just going with like the drunk driving aspect, and then A-Team. Well, you always had to love A-Team because of all the firearms.
Yeah, the Mini 14 with the chrome and the folding stocks. Incredible. Mine
Party of Five was like a rom-com, was worried about like if Ashley liked Derek or whatever. And then in the A-Team, you were learning practical skills like how to turn a bunch of acetylene tanks and like some rebar into an assault van or like a turret for a flamethrower or something awesome.
And B.A. Baracus was always getting drugged in almost every episode.
Yeah, like if you've got a friend that's afraid to fly, you can learn like dozens and dozens and dozens of ways to trick them onto an airplane.
You can tell 2A We Stand and I are close to the same age because he keeps throwing up all these shows, and I'm like, yeah, man, I love that one. I love Knight Rider. Airwolf. I did love Airwolf. I never missed an episode of that.
Do you know that the original Knight Rider, the original Michael Knight, was actually a black guy?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the pilot episode, he was a black guy. And then, like, when the spies killed him or whatever, and they brought him back to life, they turned him into a white guy for, like, his secret identity.
Oh, I forgot about V. V was pretty good. Did anybody ever watch Alien Nation? Not the movies, but the TV show.
Yep.
That was pretty good. I like that.
Hey, DJ.
What's happening, y'all? Yeah, just shaking in this chat a little bit late, a couple hours, if I can still call that late. Sorry for the tardiness, y'all.
DJ the Mac Daddy.
Yeah, not gonna. Well, yeah, you know, I'll take that. I'll take that, and everybody else should take it for what they want to make of that. Thanks, Moss.
We're just talking about old TV shows, stuff you liked as a kid. We were objectifying women, so you can do that too if you like.
Or men.
Yeah, of course, you were going to come up with that one, weren't you? G23, right on, right on. Well, what show or part of pop culture are we talking about right now? I'll have something to throw in. You know how I like to DJ once in a while. I'll try to keep it to a minimum.
Just whatever you liked as a kid. Yeah, well, you know, in your younger days.
You know, with Guns and Barbecue not being here, I had to make sure, you know, to get that little jab in there for him.
I'll let him know. He'll appreciate that. So, like, what, like television shows? Or we seriously talking?
I'll be right back.
He's busy prepping his meats for his meat show later.
Wow.
He's got to rub his meats to get them ready.
He's got a fluff.
Yeah, just TV shows. Talking about, member berries.
I'm like at my age, it's going to be like nostalgia trip for sure, and probably a lot of the stuff might be things that people didn't even get to see in reruns, for God's sake, because it wasn't that successful. But since G's on the panel, and because trucking has been something that people have been talking about lately, how about a round of applause for BJ and the Bear? What an unlikely hit, right?
A very very valid attempt to mainstream having a monkey, having monkey butlers, having monkey friends. Like that should have been something that we had by now. It's 2022 for crying out loud.
That was my favorite show. I forget what grade. I remember putting it down on, the teacher asked what your favorite TV show was. And it's at one point that was my favorite TV show, BJ and the Bear.
For sure. Now, this was at the same time as Dukes of Hazzard and Sheriff Lobo, or was it after?
I don't remember.
I think it was during the run of when Dukes of Hazzard was. Like,
I think it was after. I think they primed us on something else, got us all hyped up with Dukes of Hazzard and Sheriff Lobo era, and then they gave us Knight Rider, BJ and the Bear. So it was, here's the deal. Get them all into cars with Daisy and the Jeep and the running around and jumping over stuff with creeks and whatnot. Then get them a monkey and truck, no big deal. Then robot car. That now we're ready for robots. We're cool with robots because we see cars as our friends. Robots, cars must be okay. Daisy said it was cool. There's a monkey. Right on. We're ready for Tesla. See what I'm saying?
I get that. I do. And like, I'll vote behind all of those things with one exception. Not the Dixie Jeep, but the 74 Roadrunner that she has. Remember those opening credits? Isn't it she who peels out in that banana yellow Roadrunner? And yeah, I think that. Well, no, she had a Jeep later on in the series, but the one like opening credits, I think that's one of the only times you actually see her. But I'm not trying to railroad from pop culture into popular mechanics at all. But wasn't that a great Thursday night lineup? Dukes of Hazzard, Incredible Hulk, I think it was. Weren't those back to back coming into the primetime slot?
Well, it was Dukes of Hazzard, Sheriff Lobo for a long time. I would play cars in front of the TV playing Dukes of Hazzard, Sheriff Lobo.
Right on. So have you covered like nostalgic music trip or anything else? Because, if you haven't done the music thing, I'll hang out until that happens for sure.
We started off with music. Music was like the very first thing that was discussed when I came on the panel.
That'd be where I should have been then. Right on. Well, I'm not going to bore you with my picks and pans for that stuff, but
let's see if this shows up very well. It might be small. There you go. There's Daisy Duke and a Roadrunner.
That's the ticket. Oh yeah, with the hockey stripe on it for sure.
Yeah, it's a small picture. Sorry.
Have you seen the YouTube channel where they go find all the Dukes of Hazzard cars?
No.
So there was bunches of them, right? Because they kept wrecking them, and they had to have like a series of them so that like as they're being repaired, they still had ones that they could wreck. I think it was like 9 cars per episode or something they wrecked or whatever the thing was. Or maybe that was cop cars. I forget. But, they had like some massive system for like wrecking these things as they would ruin them for the shows and then have new ones waiting. And then they'd have like ones that were like, this one's just for doing pictures with, or this one's just for not wrecking, like that kind of stuff. So then they were all in these, I think I don't know the whole story, but they chased them back to some junkyards. And then the guy who had, or maybe personal collection, but equivalent to a junkyard, somebody who just had them all in his yard. And then somebody found him off of YouTube, and there's this YouTube video. The guy goes up and he's like, "Hey, is that the Dukes of Hazzard car?" And he's like, "Oh, you like the Dukes of Hazzard car? I got like all the General Lees, and I got like all these cop cars, and like all these other things or something." And then the guy's like, "What?" So anyway, people have bought them and then turned them in. And then the guy from Dukes of Hazzard owns one of them, I think, or maybe 2 of them, or he made one of his own and then he bought one of the real ones. So it's kind of like the guns from Red Dawn. Like the people that like Dukes of Hazzard have like tracked down the cars, even the cop cars. That's the part I like. It's like some of the cop cars are, still out there kicking.
Yeah, Defense Dad keeps naming all the shows that I watched. So we watched a lot of the same shows. Can anyone tell me what's the name of the helicopter in Riptide?
Oh, I know it.
I don't know that.
It was pink, and it was a Marine helicopter. They had a robot in that show.
don't even think I remember Riptide.
It was like a nerd, or was it a country? It was the other one that was like the city guy and the country guy. This
Kind
one
of
was
like
the
Simon and
nerd.
Simon
Yeah, it was like the Simon and Simon except nerd and
with
jock,
a helicopter.
and then a helicopter and a robot.
Do you
It was
want
just-
the internet answer?
It was a screaming Mimi. Was the
Oh, I
helicopter?
would have never remembered that one.
The internet machine says it's a Sikorsky S58T.
Yeah, it was basically the Huey before the Huey.
The Screaming Mini. So that's what the internet told me.
Riptide, in my opinion, was better than the other one,
I like Simon and Simon.
Simon and Simon. I didn't mind Simon and Simon, but I wasn't a Dodge guy, so it was like it was trying to push Dodges on me all the time. Power wagon.
I got bunches of Simon and Simon episodes, but the blonde guy, I don't even remember his name. I mean, I don't remember, not the character name, but the actor's name. He wasn't in much of anything after that, if at all, was he?
He never had to do nothing, never had to work a day in his life. He was in Simon and Simon.
It was like Gerald McRaney, though. I mean, he was a character actor who did a lot of other roles. He popped up here and there, kind of thing. But I don't remember that other guy at
The
all.
other one was in Major Dad.
When you look at some of these people, those people from like the 70s TV shows, like some of them they liked being actors. Well, what happened? Are we still here? Well, some of them liked being actors, right? And they like pursued it. Other ones made a fortune and then just never worked again. Like we'd be having conversations like this back in the day, back, long time ago. We hadn't all looked all this stuff up already. So we'd be having a conversation like this, look stuff up and be like, oh my goodness, that person like retired and that's why we never heard of him. Like that guy from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That guy just couldn't be an actor because he doesn't need to anymore. He's just like, I'm done. I'm going to raise my kids.
Then he got punched in the face.
What?
Somebody sucker punched him last year.
Oh, really?
He's walking down the street and somebody walked up
intentionally
to him
because they knew who he was, or like just randomly and he happened to get
I think it was random. They probably didn't know who he was.
Wait, was this like a random, like, what's the frequency, Kenneth slug out random?
Something like that.
No, that was a thing for a minute to like.
It's pretty much how it was. Like, he was just walking down the street being a normal person, and somebody crushed his face in for him pretty good. He was hurt pretty bad.
It was one of the news guys. I think it was Dan Rather. I mean, that's where the song got its name, the REM song, What's the Frequency, Kenneth? Some guy came up, just like beat the hell out of him, and the only thing he said was, What's the frequency, Kenneth? Like one of those strange little tidbits. Sorry about that.
Oh, really? I didn't know that's where that came from.
Yeah.
It seems like something Rem would do. Make a song out of that.
Did you see when Dan Rather did I think he was it on Letterman when he sang What's the Frequency, Kenneth?
No, for real?
Well, he kind of spoke it. But he was a huge REM fan. That's why he did it.
Wow.
I had no idea. That's a nice little bit I'll add to the trivia hopper for sure. That one comes up. That's like the award's going straight to Foss on that one. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Definitely. I didn't know. I had no idea on that.
So what about that? Letterman, maybe there's a nice seg. It gets television and music and pop culture all wrapped into one. What about favorite or most memorable music performances on Letterman or Carson or whatever your generation has? Conan O'Brien did. And then, maybe talk about their band leaders, because like everybody thinks of Doc Severinsen, beginning in my gen as a band leader kind of thing. But that role, Paul Schaefer, I still give big props and probably the largest thumbs up on him. But Questlove, and a bunch. You got Kenny Arnoff. I mean, great musicians.
How do you not go with Jay Leno and his E Street Band?
I never really watched any of those after news shows.
I
God.
thought Jay Leno was Kevin Eubanks, wasn't he? The
Yeah,
bass player. Yeah. Okay.
Kevin
Okay. Okay.
Eubanks and the E Street Band, who
Oh, okay.
also was with what was it? They were the backup band
Bruce
for
Springsteen. Bruce
Yeah.
Springsteen.
Yeah.
Defense Dad said Pink Floyd '92 was his favorite concert. I
Oh,
actually
yeah,
got
that's
to
a good-
see.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I got to see Floyd '93 at the Ohio State Buckeye Stadium. That was pretty cool.
We went to California to see Dead in '94. That was pretty good because it was, California show.
Was it Branford Marsalis or his brother that was did the band for one of the talk shows?
Branford.
Branford.
He was
He's
also
a younger
on-
brother. Yeah.
He also played with the Dead, right? Quite a bit.
That I didn't know. There's another piece for me to
What?
dig into.
You didn't know
Right?
that?
Did Branford
Oh,
play
man,
with the
you
band?
should listen to those. Talk about some jazzy shows. It might be just with Jerry, but I'm pretty sure it was with the whole band.
Right on.
How do you spell that
Yep.
guy's name? Marsalis?
Marsalis.
Yeah, Grateful Dead. Yeah, you can just type it into YouTube. Guess what? It's in the YouTube. Lots of them. Lots and lots. I only ever listened to tapes because they were in, you would be hanging out with them in areas of the country that I couldn't get to. But yeah, I was into jazz for a minute after high school. And so when he would hang out, they would get really jazzy, like American jazzy, like really cool. Because he's saxophone or whatever. So he would saxophone it up with the Dead.
Tara Smith's Kitchen. I don't remember if I know I highlighted her comment. I don't know if I said it. Hello to her. And Gun-Toting Pacifist.
You know,
Good
he just
evening.
did a new video earlier today, and Kingpin just released a video about a minute long, and
Can you do me a favor, Chris? Can you call up, put out links for channels?
Yeah, am I a moderator?
I don't know.
I can
Leave a comment and you will be.
So did what if anybody happened to catch the tour? And I guess we just like maybe the album as well. Momentary Lapse of Reason. Thumbs up or thumbs down on the tour? I'm not going to tell you mine.
I think I went to a Pink Floyd concert and hung out outside, but I was too cheap to go inside because you don't need to go inside. You can hear it from outside. But the outside of a Pink Floyd concert ain't the same as an outside of a Dead concert, so I didn't bother going back.
You're good to go now, Chris.
Okay.
I don't know.
You just want me to throw links out to everybody's channels?
Yeah, if you could. If it's a problem, that's all right.
No. I do it all the time.
Have you ever, I do this constantly because I like going back and listening to the Dead shows I've been to, but have you ever gone to YouTube and put in the concerts you've been to? Because I know it happens with Dead shows, but it must happen with other concerts also that somebody bootlegged it.
Yep, it does. I've been able to match up a whole lot where I didn't even have pictures from that show kind of thing. Like I don't mind shooting bands during their performances as much as some people do or discourage. And I have some like great shots from great shows, but being able to go third party perspective, like I really dig that. And all the way back into cassette bootleg days when I would get there some shows, like really epic ones where there were obviously more than one taper. And I'm like talking about late 60s, early 70s, where people were hauling around huge rigs to be able to almost triangulate where they were in a crowd. And the example I'll offer is the Altamont concert. So a lot of people were taping that night of the Rolling Stones. Well, that's an infamous performance for a lot of reasons. And so having the ability to hear three separate, fairly decent bootleg recordings from the same show, in addition to they shot a movie of that. So putting all those things together, and I am kind of a Rolling Stones geek, that's such a treat. And so, yeah, gee, that's a great idea, digging out shows you've been to before. Right on.
So I got a question for you, DJ, real quick. Since Defense Dad brought up Rush, yeah. I think Rush has some of the trash lyrics. Their lyrics are awful for most of their songs. I like Rush. You know, I enjoy listening to them, but their lyrics are garbage. I wanted your opinion.
Wow. Some appeal in a way. Other ones, I think I get where you're coming from. It's like, dude, why does it always have to be the trees singing or, something kind of far flung? And I guess, Foss, what it does is it matches up with their prog rock style more. But when you go to like the more anthemic songs that they have, like Subdivisions, and I did it in that cadence, Subdivisions. They have a lot of hooky choruses and stuff, but yeah, sometimes they will go a little far afield. Now, that being said, man, the journey that is the long side of 2112, I like the rock opera aspect. Yeah, prog rockers, I would imagine that's going to be a lyrical challenge for a lot of listeners.
So concerts and stuff, I didn't go to a lot of concerts, like paying to go see them. Now, I got to work security at a few concerts out at the Gorge in George, and that was really fun. But I saw Pantera. I actually paid to go see them.
Yeah, Pantera is good, both plus and minus the losses that band has had. And Gorge, geez, talk about like one of the epic venues.
It's a beautiful venue.
Yeah, so lucky to have that right up. We have nothing like that here. The Great Plains are just that, plains, and not just the flatness it implies, but plain Jane as well. Our outdoor sheds are boring as hell. Until we get into the upper Midwest, like Alpine, that's a great venue, but nothing else compares down here. Go ahead, Boss. Sorry.
I saw Def Leppard at the Gorge.
You know how many music videos are shot there in the Gorge, where they fly helicopters through there and are like doing the actual like live concert videos. That's probably one of the major things that they like to do there at the Gorge. You see it a lot in some of the live music videos.
I haven't been to a lot of concerts. I saw Def Leppard, Richie Sambora, saw Alice in Chains, and I think maybe one other, and I can't think of even who it was.
I had to take the wife to a Foreigner concert. Foreigner's a great band. I do like them, but
did it feel like the first time?
It did.
Probably not, because I don't think G23 is old enough to have been taking his old lady to see him back on the Foreigner 4 tour or something like that.
I volunteered because I was like low man on the management totem pole. And so I was like, yeah, I'll work July 4th and let all the other management take July 4th off, which happens to be our anniversary. And then when my boss found out that it was our anniversary, he happened to mention in front of the wife that if he would have known it was our anniversary, I would have had that day off.
My son found my I had this like frame poster board of all my concert tickets the other day, and my son found it in a closet. And he was in shock. He's like, you've seen all these people live? I was like, yeah. And he's like, can I hang this in my room? But I think I have almost every ticket stub of every show I've ever been to since 1990, I believe. Well, they don't do it anymore. Now it all goes to your phone, but back when we used to get the stubs.
Yeah, I relate. I save yeah, nearly all of mine. The only exceptions to ones that I don't have are ones where people lost theirs during a show and were like, crying about it because they wanted the souvenir.
Yeah.
And yeah, and that's the only reason that I would separate from mine. And I've got them stowed all over the place. I mean, all these decades of shows. It's like I'll run across some in like a shoebox where I was like moving from one place to the other, and it was just like, okay, well, here's the pile that I keep on the dresser or whatever. So eventually, compiling all those would be a really good time. But about tickets, yeah, how disappointing is it that we don't get paper tickets anymore like
I
that? And
know.
the way that some of them used to be printed, even, I mean, on card stock and with like glitter, like vinyl transfer, silkscreen tickets and pictures and all kinds of other crazy stuff. Plus, like, yeah, just having that one little portion torn off at the bottom and you get back like the long piece. That was sweet.
Yeah, my son, it's fun now. He's 16 now, so he's a guitar player, so he likes to go to. So I took him to a lot of concerts this summer. So it's kind of fun now. I took a break from it for a long time and started going to concerts and taking him with me now. So it's a good time. So
I didn't keep any ticket stubs. The only ticket stub I have somewhere boxed up is the last time Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the year he retired, last time he played in Seattle.
Oh,
I kept
wow.
that ticket. But
wow, that'd be a cool one to have.
So I think I still have the Foreigner tickets with the CD that I bought at the concert that I took the wife to. But how many of you guys have taken your woman to a hockey game?
Yo.
I've only ever been to one sports game, I think, ever, when I was a little kid.
Yeah, I've never taken her to a hockey game. We've gone to UFC fights together.
So when I lived in Wenatchee, we had a semi-professional hockey team called the Wenatchee Wild, and they were really good. And I used to get free tickets because the place I worked at was one of the corporate sponsors for them. And so we'd get tickets, and I would take her to the game and stuff. And she got into watching the hockey.
I knew people when I was at the gun shop where their wives all went to hockey, and then it's like if they felt like it, the guys would go with, but most of the time their wives went to hockey, and that's where they got together and watched dudes beat the crap out of each other, whatever, and drink beers. And then if their husbands went, that was fine, but they were still going no matter what.
Yeah, it was pretty neat when he found that in the closet because I totally had forgot about it. And it was like going down memory lane, sitting there looking at all those stubs. And it was just all over the place. I mean, I went and saw Pink Floyd and the Eagles and then Wu-Tang Clan and Mobb Deep and Bad Company. And it was just everywhere. AFI and Rancid and the Dropkick Murphys. It just went on and on and on.
You got some variety in the jukebox there, son.
I love music. I listen to everything.
Oh, hell yeah, me too. Me too. And like most of those artists that you ticked off, I've been able to see as well. Yeah, totally, man.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, G.
I was just going to take a different direction to I can remember back in the olden days when it would be like when I first discovered music or whatever. I don't know if a movie got us into it or if it was just girls or something, but at some point, maybe it's just to have something different than, what was available at the mall or something. But we started to dig into record stores and to pick the venue or the genre or whatever you want to call it. If you were into something, you'd have to go find a record store that had that and then dig through it or be cool enough to be recommended something, and not be, what I mean? You had to have a rapport with the person at the store to find out what was cool or what was worth listening to. Otherwise, there'd be a bin of stuff and you have to go off the cover. And at least for me, I got a whole bunch of stuff that has cool covers. That sounds stupid, right? That like you never, at least we didn't. I see record stores on TV where you could listen. We never could listen to nothing. It was like buy it or don't buy it.
I think the listening came in kind of later.
At the
Not a
mall,
whole-
you could listen,
yeah.
but not at like a regular record store. It'd be like,
Well,
Yeah.
there've been representations of the preview, the listening, to music thing since before there was recorded music, when it was sheet music. So in stores where you bought sheet music back in the day, there'd be a piano there.
back then there'd be
Yeah.
a piano, and then the guy at the store would have to sit down and play a part
And
of
play
it.
it.
Like
Yeah,
this is what it's going to sound like on your piano. Ding ding ling 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 ding ding.
Right. Like demo it just like it was a recorded thing, and then the transition into other recorded forms that were available retail. So you're talking about like 78s, if people know what those are, all the way through. The last time I dealt with a listening station, and when they started, and now that they've died off, is when it switched from being a record store, a music store that carried records, tapes, and CDs. When the records started to drop off, no more turntables. When the cassettes went away, because I don't remember ever having a cassette listening station, it was left to CDs. And now that I don't see it at any of the shops that still carry all three. And most of them are used stores, and they'll just put it on because they're spinning something behind the counter all day long.
Here's a picture sent in by Sergeant Joe Smith. It's him in the middle with the band Tribe Society. They did the theme song for Shane McMahon from the WWE wrestling.
Little known fact, I'm actually the guy with the blue hat on.
That's so weird because I'm that dude with the tank top. Or wait, the guy on the other side with the sleeves cut off.
Sweet, man.
I didn't even know that was you guys.
I'm rocking the sleeveless there. Drummers always do.
Well, you just said you're me, so that's creepy now. No, nobody knows what's going on.
Oh, I wasn't keeping track of a picture. I'm in StreamYard. Glancing over.
Fence Dad said he cleaned a music store on the weekends in exchange for studio time.
He would just sing a cappella rap songs, hard rap songs in there. A cappella.
I got to go and see NWA back in the day when they did Straight Outta Compton.
Was that like kind of like big giant things, or was that small venues, like big coliseums, or small venues?
That was at the Gorge in George.
Was that part of a package tour then? I don't remember.
I have no idea what that is. Is that some kind of giant place?
Yeah, the Gorge is well known in as music venues. It's in a lot of different genre of music videos and everything, where they have videos from the live concert and stuff. So it's in country music, it's in rap, it's in folk music. It's a huge venue up in Washington.
Is there a music video I've seen that I would know, like, oh, that one? It's like somebody filmed a music video there that's like, big, that I would know. What'd you call it? George and something?
The
Just
Gorge
look
in
up-
George.
Yeah.
The
Just
town
the
is called
Gorge.
George.
Right. So if you just look up the Gorge and like Grateful Dead, bang, you're going to be on it. I can't think of any examples though right off that like G23 is suggesting. I mean, I know that it's a great place for people to film live video, but I can't think of one that is immediately associated with that venue. So was that a package tour when you saw NWA? I want to know who else was on the bill for that. I didn't get to see NWA. I mean, Chris is checking in on the Wu-Tang Clan, like Most Def there. But yeah, NWA, that was a lucky score. What was that show about?
Well, I expected it to look a lot different than this. This is pretty interesting.
Yeah, here's a picture for everyone else.
This isn't Washington, because it looks like I would have figured a lot more trees and stuff.
It's kind of southwest-ish.
Yeah, it's right off I-90 by Wenatchee, Quincy area. So if you are going from west to east, so if you're going from like Seattle to Spokane, if you hit Moses Lake, you've gone too far.
Yeah, when we went, we stayed in Vantage, which is a little, basically it's a gas station in the middle of nowhere, right on the river. We got drunk and hit golf balls into the river.
So did you say this already, or is it just look neat, or does it also have some kind of crazy sound because you're playing it on the side of the rim of that giant valley or whatever it is?
Oh, it sounds amazing. Acoustically.
Okay. It's like a giant, what do they call that? Where they, like back in the days of Greek days, where they would dig a hole and put all the seats on the side of the hill.
Amphitheater?
It's like a giant natural amphitheater. Because it kind of looks like it's in a place that is in the center or whatever I'm trying to say. Like it's centered in that center, in that area.
Yeah.
I feel like that's destructive to the environment. So there you go. Sonic pollution.
What?
Sorry, guys. I had an emergency phone call that came in, and I had to take it. And...
Oh, no problem. You're not getting paid, so you know.
Owning a plumbing company, I'll tell you, sometimes it's a treat.
So I grew up going to like venues that were basically bars with like a big room, or like sometimes I think they were like not for like movie theaters, but like back in the days of plays, when there was, before there was electronics, there'd be like a playhouse or whatever you call it, where like it was they only had enough seats for as far as you could yell or talk really loud, you know, because nobody could actually talk really loud, or you know, there was no point in watching it. So they were small venues, and the bands would be up there, and they were small. So I've seen a couple of bands, and before they were giant, just because it was a step above watching like a local battle of the bands, but it was also, you know, something that obtainable. We didn't have to go to some giant auditorium or stadium or nothing. So then I didn't go to do nothing. I didn't go to any kind of bands. And then I went to a Dead show, and that, I don't know if you've been to a Dead show, but like a good chunk of the Dead show is outside in the parking lot. And it's just like a crazy swap meet hippie festival out there. And then at some point I went to a Metallica concert thinking it was going to be like something like that. And it was like everybody just politely parked their cars and then orderly got in line and went into a Metallica concert, thrashed or whatever. And then like orderly got back in their cars. And I'm like, wow, this is such a stark difference. So like concerts were totally different than, so it's, you know, I like the experience of the Dead shows where you could just kind of hang out and fart around outside, not even have tickets. Was there other shows like that, or was that the only one like that?
No, Fish
they were
Tour.
all like that.
Huh?
All the Dead shows were like that.
No, but I mean, were like other bands like that, or were the Dead the only one that fostered that like atmosphere?
Other bands attempted it, but it was never exactly the same. DJs were going to bring up Fish. Fish was probably the next closest thing.
Yeah, and it patterned well after that because the audiences were nearly the same. You know, jam bands, the difference was just generational. You know, I was an Xer who didn't get to see the Grateful Dead perform for a couple of different reasons. And yeah, and Fish was the thing. If you were into hippie bands, jam bands, laid back rock and roll, all the way to stuff like bluegrass when you get some of the Jerry kids. that were younger and discovering it for the first time. And there was the explosion of like, well, the Horde tour, Horizons of Rock Developing Everywhere. I think that kicked off in like '94 or something like that. And that was like Blues Traveler all the way to Aquarium Rescue Unit, String Cheese Incident, all those bands that popped up in there too. So yeah, it was were we pretending? Yeah, we were pretending, but there were also a lot of deadheads that were out doing that thing too. So the best Jerry rolls and grilled cheese, they came from the old tour heads. It wasn't the kids.
What about like Pink Floyd? Pink Floyd didn't have a big thing going on in the parking lot.
Well, it's more like tailgating for any other kind of shows. I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking about the traveling, like the Gypsy Bazaar. So, I mean, that's like people who are, on the grind, from show to show because they've got tickets or they don't for every show on a tour. You are a head. And so, head doesn't have to be Grateful Dead head, dead head. You can be fish head or bishopy, whatever the combo is. But yeah, only certain bands kind of spark that behavior. Otherwise, it's tailgating.
Yeah. See, the thing.
Did other bands have tailgating then?
Oh, for sure.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Kingpin, go ahead.
No, go ahead, DJ. Go ahead, man.
I'm just thinking, I couldn't have been the only one that was like, dang, that's like half the fun of the show is going and farting around with everybody. Like everybody of your age group goes to a place and meets up and hangs out, no matter what school or whatever. You're just hanging out because you like this band or whatever. I thought that part of it was pretty awesome. But then, like I said, I went to Metallica and it was like, this is super boring. Like none of these people even wanted like I'd straight into the show and buy a T-shirt and stand there.
Like the band that you asked about was Pink Floyd. Was it like that at Pink Floyd show? Well,
right.
When I saw them like at Arrowhead, now there's an implication there of the tailgating thing because it's a sports stadium. But yeah, the tailgating that goes on there was different. Was it also a different kind of attempt? Well, because it's concert goers, not sports event goers. People having their grills going in different kind of ways and gathering around music instead of the rah-rah for their team and the colors and whatever. Like that appealed to me more. But it just exists in a different way. But has anybody, I'll transition here if nobody minds, has anybody seen the short film in quotation marks, Heavy Metal Parking Lot?
No.
You guys got to dig that up. If you're a hair metal or around that era, a mid '80s music fan or a metal fan at all, you got to see it. It's a period piece that was filmed in period, and it's incredible. It was like I think it was in Maryland. It's mid '80s, and it's like a Judas Priest show. So it's everybody, smoking cigarettes, smoking whatever, drinking beer, beer, Priest. I mean, just totally into the moment.
It's Maryland. It's Makojo and Kingpin then.
There you go.
So to not really go too far off topic, but Tara Smith she says, my video got messed up today. I have a fired casing stuck in my Yugo SKS with the back end ripped off. And so, if you have a picture of that, you could send it in either to Foss's email or
they make a broken case extractor. Do you have any broken case extractors?
How does it say? Because we might be able to help you get that unstuck.
Broken case extractor is basically like one of them anchors that goes on the wall with a nail. It's going to go in there and expand a little bit and kind of put pressure, just like the gases would have. And then you yank on it and it pulls out the broken piece of metal. They're cheap, at least back in the day. They used to be cheap because metal tapered cartridges get stuck inside of chambers all the time with SKSs and AKs. So if you don't already have one, that's what I'd recommend. Otherwise, you improvise.
Couldn't you just tap it out with a brass cleaning rod if you're just careful?
Well, she said the casing is stuck and the back end ripped off. So if that's, how when it tears sort of sometimes when you do that, when you try to tap it out. So now all that's left is the walls around the chamber is what I'm guessing, and a ripped up back end. So it's like try to grab it with pliers and hope. But a case extractor will go in there and grab it and yank it out.
Man, that sucks.
Here's one. You can get them off Amazon or Brownells or.
Back in the day, it was like a $3 part. So
Yeah, it's like $8 on Amazon. Well, this one that I called up.
exactly.
Just buy a new gun.
Yeah, or buy another gun. With that one, just throw it in a park. Or I like to throw things at dolphins.
Couldn't you just shoot a smaller caliber out of it now?
Oh snap! That's a great idea. No, it's 5.56.
Barrel liner.
So we've gone 3 hours, and my knees are starting to hurt. So I think we're going to start wrapping up.
You power this whole thing off of one of them exercise wheels, like a little cycle thing underneath your desk there as you're going, where like you're like treading or you're cycling this whole time to keep the thing powered up.
I am carbon neutral.
He has to create his own electricity off of a pedal generator to be able to make sure that he has enough electricity to run his modem and his computer at the same time.
He's like a duck on water.
Electricity. So, Chris, what you got going on?
Let's see. Head to the range tomorrow, do a little filming. New video on Tuesday. Hopefully Wednesday night, G and I will be having another live chat from 8 to 10 Eastern. And another video going up on Thursday.
You do 2 videos a week normally?
Yeah.
Okay.
Try to.
And if you haven't dropped your own link out there, make sure to do that before we take off.
No, I haven't. I hate doing that. But all right, I'll throw one out there. But yeah, I really appreciate you having me on. I really had a good time on this chat tonight. We had fun. This was a fun one.
Well, thank you for coming on. It made it fun. Kingpin, I know you just dropped a video, but you got anything else going on, or you're just chilling like a villain?
Yeah, I'm just chilling, man. Thanks for having me. Always good time. So hanging out with you guys.
Thank you, G.
So, Tara said that she sent the picture over to you, Foss.
Okay, what will there we go. Let me here. Take me a second there. Talks amongst yourselves while I do this.
I'm putting a link out in the crowd to Kingpin's latest video. Everyone should watch it when we're done here.
Normally on Saturdays, Brooke does a Great Start Shooting School YouTube channel, does a suicide prevention Saturday, suicide awareness project, and I haven't seen one pop up today. So did she say anything about not doing one today? Anybody know?
That occurred to me just now as well, and I don't know. I just checked my notifications on my other handset yet, and nothing popped off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop her channel link into the chat. And yeah, that's a great recommendation. G's got a solid one there, y'all. Go ahead and check out her channel, whether or not she has a program today. Saturdays, every Saturday, an important issue for all of us.
So she may not do one, since I think she was just on Tactical Pineapple's video panel Friday night.
She was on with Clover. He didn't say that.
I believe. I know it was. What's it? Hold My Gun, and one of the guys from Walk the Talk America. I think Mike was on there. I could have his name wrong. And there was a Drop It Like It's Scott and a few other people that were on that live panel discussion last night that was like roughly 2 hours long.
This is the picture that she sent in. It's kind of hard to see anything. I don't know if what for those of you who are more knowledgeable might know what we're looking at. I can see the case in there. But
Yeah, that's definitely what a broken case extractor's like designed for. So
yeah, so Amazon would be the fastest, you know, but
I don't even know about that. I don't know where she's at. So call a gun shop, find out if they got one in their inventory of stuff. It might be like, yeah, bring it in. We'll pop it out of there, or like we'll pop it out of there for $5 or $10 or something. But and then it might be, oh, we've got those on the thing, because this is fairly common. It's not that uncommon, really.
But I would definitely recommend, you know, like G said, is picking one up so that if it happens in the future, you can definitely get one out yourself, you know.
The tool she may never use again, but it'll be a nice tool to have if it happens again.
Well, and here's the deal. As soon as you own it, you'll never need it again. So you want it to keep happening, don't buy it. You want to end it ever happening again, buy a good one, buy an expensive one, right?
Exactly.
So G-Webs, other than your printing that's printing right now, your mystery printing, anything else coming up? I know you were doing a chat when we started up. You were doing your question chat.
Yeah, that turned into a long format, 4-hour chat, I think. I've got a chat coming up with all the CCW insurances, so I spent some time looking at all of those, and we'll be doing that Tuesday. And then depending on if it answers everybody's questions, I'm not trying to sell nobody, but I did spend a heck of a lot of time researching it, and I have it all in my head. So Smeggy said he'd join me, and we'll just go live on Tuesday before everybody starts going live. So sometime in the afternoon for me, or like evening on the metric time zones, and we'll just do whatever anybody wants to know stuff, because I have a skin in the game. Like I'll give you whatever you want to know about what I learned about them. And I got that chart that literally compares all of them. So all that's available. And before I forget it all, I'm going to go live. That's about the only thing I can think of like imminently that's coming up. And then, like I said, that'll be Tuesday. But yeah, thanks for hosting. And you got a show later on this afternoon, or this overnight for the regular people.
Yeah, tonight's the overnight. DJ, you got anything going on? You ever thought about starting your own chats and stuff, or doing videos? You keep every now and again you talk about doing something.
Sometime between now and sometime again. Yeah, absolutely, man. It'd be a kick. Until then, I enjoy the opportunity to have been here tonight. Talking music is something I will always do. Imagine that the DJ will DJ you on music. So thanks for everybody's patience with my digressions and tangents. I really appreciate that. So plugging my buddy Guns and Barbecue. He's got his end of the month chat coming up, and that's in about maybe half an hour or so. So I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go ahead and toss the link out to that. You can go from one to the other sort of deal. And of note on that program for this evening, dudes and weight. So it's not just all about barbecue. Sometimes it's about guns and barbecue. Imagine that, the channel name. And tonight it's about food and weight gain or loss or whatever else. It's a supportive thing he's trying to get going. I think this is the second one of that show. Also, another thing on Guns and Barbecue, geez, you better pay me for these, is Tuesdays and Thursdays. He has the Almost Nightly Firearms Expo. And one more channel note for someone else's channel, geez, he really does owe me now, is his 2A Women Wednesday program. This last week was a good one. Go ahead and check those out if you have the time and the interest and inclination sort of then. And until then, be safe, have fun, carry your guns, rock. Thanks, man.
I would say think about it, DJ. You know, maybe doing DJ's rabbit hole where you end up wherever you end up. Think about it.
Right on, man. Thanks.
G23. I would say everybody, if you're not subbed to G23 already, that's what this chat is, filling in for him because he wasn't going to be here, but he's here. Give him a sub, give him some love.
Yep, I threw a link out there, guys and girls.
And Chris was kind enough to put out a whole bunch of different links out there, so check those out too. But you got anything coming up here anytime soon, G23?
Nothing that I can think of right off the top of my head. I know I got to get out and do some shooting. Heading back to work Monday, so we shall see what goes on.
So I just want to say thank you to everybody who has been on the panel. I really appreciate it and made it fun. And everybody out there in the side chat, you guys are the ones that make us worth it. And so check out, go find some new channels to look at. You never know what you're going to find, or better yet, maybe think about starting your own thing, because you never know who you're going to reach. It might be people that none of us can talk to, that will listen to us. They might listen to you. If you got opinions, say them. Get out there and have fun. So, and again, just thank you for everybody for tuning in on this fill-in chat. And let me find some closing credits here. Well, I don't have one for an overnight closing credits, I don't think. Oh, here we go. So, everybody have a good rest of the day.
What you have seen here today, where there is fire, there is smoke. And in that smoke, from this day forward, my people will crouch and conspire and plot and plan for the inevitable day of